And for that, I'll give my rating 3 half-ass Seth Rogen laughs out of 5.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 79. Holy shit, boys. We're getting that much closer to 100. Our episode 79 of the Thought Patrol podcast. This week, I'm joined not only by Shawn, but by our boy Tyler as well.
Howdy.
Tyler the Fire.
Exactly. Fighting fires, saving cats out of trees. Fucking bitches.
What?
Exactly.
And it also doubles as his stripper name. So it works out very well.
The hose man, they call me.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Well, I'm glad you
It's
both.
double meaning.
I'm glad you both can. Thanks for.
Instead of putting out fires, he starts them in the ladies' loins.
Hell yeah, dude.
God.
Jesus. So this week we got kind of a special week in the idea that it only happens once a year, but we're going to be talking about our top threes of this year. So games, anime. I'm adding a few more categories if they even apply, but movies, music, TV. I don't know, just like things that when we look back on the year of 2018, things that we hearken to, stuff that we enjoyed quite a bit this year. So we'll be talking about that.
This is more memories than like stuff that actually had to come out this year. It could have come out anytime.
Yeah, whatever we had partaken in this year. I think for the games, for the most part, we'll try to keep it to stuff within this year because that's the stuff that everyone actually gives a shit about. If they even give a shit. But if they were to give a shit, it'd be the games because that's technically what we are. But for the anime and the other things like that, I'm thinking what we can do is we can do maybe number one because I'd like to have some things from within the year because we did watch a lot of good stuff this year, and it'd be kind of disappointing to kind of look over that in one way or another. But I'll look up some lists as we go to give you guys an idea of the realm of this year, like what happened and what didn't happen. Because I know sometimes looking back on an entire year, there's obviously shit that you'll overlook. So
we watch a fuck ton load of stuff. So.
Yeah, we do. Holy crap. So we'll go over that. We'll talk about that. And we got a lot of questions to answer. We're going to review the final two films for the I don't even know what we call it, but whatever, the Christmas stuff that we do. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting episode.
Sexy
The holiday
Christmas.
film.
Yes. So,
It was a sexy Christmas.
before we move forward into everything else, real quick, how's your 2 weeks been? How has your two weeks? I don't know. How have you been this week, you sexy fucks? Anything stick out when you look back? Anything you'd like to share with the audience? We'll start with you,
I'm sorry,
Tyler.
but did you say anything thick out instead of stick out?
No, I said stick out.
THICC.
I said stick out,
Okay.
but if it's something that thicked out too, hey, let us know.
I don't know. I don't know if I can share that over Discord here for our listeners for their ears. I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you.
But besides that, I'm back. I don't know when the last time I was. I did my normal hiatus. So
I need to start like marking down like how many episodes in between.
I thought.
Yeah, possibly. It's been a while.
But no, I've been good. I kind of got sick for the holidays, which really sucks. So I'm kind of trying to get over this little thing I got going on. But hopefully I'm on the back end of it. But everything's been good. Been playing actually. Well, I've been getting ready to play a lot of games. So since I have last talked, though, I had played a lot of Battlefield. I'm in love with Battlefield 5.
Okay.
As I figured I would be. So I've been playing with Antonio mostly, and just enjoying that. It is different though. It's actually, it's a lot of fun, but it does piss me off though, just because I'm getting used to the different game style and like how it is. You die a lot quicker in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it's like the time to kill, like no matter what weapon you use. So you might not even get a chance to, reload your weapon after you kill one guy, or like you might kill one guy and like not be able to kill the other, So
would you say it's more realistic now?
I mean, of course, a couple bullets in you, you're usually already dead. So, that is realistic, of course. But still, it's just the adjustment from the previous Battlefield games that this is so different. And I know like they've had issues because I think they went ahead to go fix it, and I guess fans immediately started complaining. So I don't know what they're doing, but I've been enjoying it for the most part. But Battlefield, I bought God of War, so I'm stoked to play that. I have not played it yet though. They had a deal. Actually, PlayStation had a bunch of deals, so I bought that. I bought another game too. I can't remember what it was, but I downloaded Soma, which is like a free game to play. It's
Game's
like from the
good.
creators. Yeah, it's from the creators of Amnesia.
It's really good. I like it
it's
more than
really
Amnesia because fucking
Really,
Amnesia. Yeah, dude.
it looks like really scary BioShock is what it looks like.
It's just the only thing that it shares is the fact that it's underwater. But there's a very the story I think is really good, and that's what I think puts it above Amnesia. Like the idea of the story and what's actually happening, and when the reveals do come, I think they hit pretty hard because you're somewhat attached to the characters that you are and your companion. So when you do kind of find out what the fuck is going on down there with you and your environment, I think it hits pretty hard, and it blew me away when I first found it. I'm like, what the fuck? And you make some very hard decisions
Really
throughout the game.
Yeah, it's kind of a survival horror tragedy. The only thing that I think I would have liked is more contact with other characters. I think that would have been nice. It would have made it even stronger. But there's a lot of it's more suspense than horror. I mean, there's a lot of eeriness and creepiness to it, but I don't know if I would throw that in the standard horror category. It's kind of unique.
It depends because it has its like typical Amnesia thing where you can't really fight the monster, you're hiding from it most of the time. But there are a few monsters that you run into that do different things or affect you in different ways. But I think you'd like it a lot, Tyler. It's really fucking good. Almost to the degree that I'd go back and play it again just because I might even have it on my computer. I think I got it for free somewhere. I don't remember.
I'm pretty excited to start playing it.
It's good as fuck.
So,
and it's really pretty too. I don't know how it runs on PlayStation though. I remember it having some hiccups here and there, like dropping below 30. I don't know if they fixed it, but because that was like when it first came out. So I don't know.
It's not really impacted by frame rate though. There's not any precision stuff you have to do.
I mean, but still, if you're just walking around, if you're watching frames dip below 30, it just affects your overall enjoyment because the game looks choppy. It doesn't matter how it feels.
I don't ever remember that happening.
I know that some of the outside segments, and sometimes when the monster's around and you have a lot going on, there's effects that the monster puts on your view. And sometimes if you have a lot of shit going on, sometimes you can run into two monsters, and it can sometimes cause frame drops. It wasn't to the point where it would ruin the experience, but it was when it originally came out. I don't know if they patched it out. I played it as soon as the moment it came to PS4. So I have no idea. They might have patched it out for all I know.
Do you remember that I'm trying to figure out, not to spoil this. Do you remember that part with the floating light that is clingy? And it's like in that second or third, the ship, that one ship?
Yeah.
That's the part where it happened. I remember now.
I love that we hear Shawn button mashing.
He's picking up right now.
Shawn getting them combos, man. Getting them combos. Oh, fuck. I just elbowed the mic stand by accident. Owie. That shit hurt.
Oh, we didn't notice until you pointed it out, so.
That shit hurted.
But
it's a good game. You'd like it.
Yeah. I also went to go see Bohemian Rhapsody yesterday. Like right before, like it's about to be pulled from theaters. It's been out for a long time, and my mom and I have been like dying to go see it. So we went up to Sawgrass and watched it. It was pretty moving. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like just because I love the music, and like it makes you like have like a bond almost, and like it makes you feel like you're there, like like being at the Wembley Stadium and everything. Like at the final scene they show, and it's like you're at the concert. I mean, just like the atmosphere, it just blows you out of the water. It's so cool. I have like such like a deep appreciation for music and especially for Queen too, because they have a style that is, I mean, you can't compare to many other bands out there. And the thing was, they were never this like one and the same. Like everything that they put out, all their material was different. You know, they always wanted to be. They didn't want to be like the run-on sentence. They didn't want to be, you know, the back-to-back, you know, same sounding kind of band. They were different every time, and you know, it's usually hit or miss for a lot of those. But
I guess they never
miss.
miss, huh?
Well, actually, Queen had a tough time of it a lot because they were so different. Like, it's true. Queen is one of those bands that nobody's ever really emulated. It's the one, I think, style that no one's been able to touch.
You got a boyfriend. I guess he doesn't kiss you, huh?
Well, the irony, because Freddie Mercury's gay.
Oh, hey, there it is.
Well, yeah, and it's something you didn't know, and it's, I mean, no spoiler by any means, but like he actually, in the beginning, he was a straight man. He actually was engaged for a brief time to a woman. I can't remember her last name, but first name's Mary. And it just, I guess, over the course of them touring, he just made friends in other places, and they actually remained friends after the fact. But you know, it's just interesting to think, because I never knew he was, you know, I thought he was just always gay, and he just was trying to hide it, but for a period in his life, you know, something happened, and
I like dick now.
Yeah, there's
She was
nothing
with
wrong
him
with that. I mean, hey,
when he died.
he put out some of the best music I'll ever listen to, and
I'm always one of the part of like the group where you always separate, no matter what it is. Not that I have a problem with someone being gay, but even if it was a problem for me, I believe that I always separate the creator of the music from the music itself. Like, if a group worships Satan or some shit, but they made some fire-ass music, I could still enjoy their music for what it is without technically attaching it to the people that made it. And I like to try and keep that stuff separated.
I'm sure there's a lot of music out there that is just like that, too, where you can enjoy the tune, but, you know, no matter the group is, or the artist, or band, or whatever, you know, or what they do, who they are. So,
yeah.
But,
like Hitler made some good paintings. I mean, I could look at his painting.
He wrote some good books, too.
He wrote some good. There you go. Mein Kampf, New York Times bestseller. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. That'd be so funny if what's his face, like, you have it where just some kind of parallel universe. Hitler writes like I can't think of it, like self-help books.
Oh.
So like how to get a girlfriend in 2 weeks by Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Or like I thought you were gonna be like Hitler wrote the diary, you know, or like I'm not gonna finish that, but or like he wrote like horror novels like Stephen King. That's how he's famous.
or he wrote cookbooks.
Or what if?
Oh, that'd be fucking amazing.
Cookbook.
The Perfect Steak by Hitler.
The perfect. Oh, that was really bad. I was gonna say the perfectly fried Jew, but.
Okay, I intentionally avoided him writing the Diary of Anne Frank, and then you die. Like, if there was a way to demonetize monetization we had, it would have just happened.
Monetization, please.
Banned from YouTube.
No one wants to be associated with us. Have the Thought Patrol brand associated with them. Yeah, dude. My mom walked in as I was talking about Hitler's self-help books, so I'm sure she was very confused.
Yeah, she's probably like hanging outside the door, still trying to listen to what's going on.
Yeah, dude.
Concern for her child.
Okay, anything else you'd like to add before we keep going, Tyler?
No, that's it. You know, I usually I try to like compile it all within a brief, you know, moment, but of course, you know, we always sidestep. So, what else do you expect?
Okay,
that is all.
All right, nice.
It is our way.
What about you, Shawn? How's your week been?
I haven't been at work much, so I mean, it's been pretty awesome up until that no paycheck happened.
Oh yeah, I feel you. I haven't played absolutely anything. Well, I mean, I went back and played more of that 8-bit Castlevania homage, something of the moon, whatnot. I'm still waiting for the fucking game that was supposed to come out in spring, but they're still working. And I've been mostly just like slamming Final Fantasy 14, working on the squad. Did the Christmas event in Trove. That was easier than I thought it would be. Okay.
And I watched I saw Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, how was it?
All right, for the first, it's like, it feels like a game where they started making the game and then realized that they were doing something really stupid, so they stopped.
Okay.
Because in the beginning of it, for like the first 10 minutes, there's this really horrendous GTA motion blur. And I mean, it's really, really fucking bad. Because they do like a faux stop motion thing with it, where the characters move at like 15 frames a second.
Yeah, I've seen
And
that in the trailers. Yeah.
yeah, in the beginning, it's really, really bad. Like it's unpleasant and it's ugly and it is not attractive. And then as the movie goes on, I'm not sure if I got used to it or if they just laid off the motion blur. It really felt like it wasn't there because I think I would have noticed if they continued because it would have just made the movie unwatchable. So I don't know why it was like that at the beginning, but I'm glad they cut it off. There's a lot of things I liked in the movie, but there's a lot of choices they made that I thought were really counterproductive. That just were not good. Kingpin is in the movie, and he's a giant fucking square, and I mean, like we're talking like Dexter's Lab, like
I
Cartoon
saw
Network.
him. He's
He's
like he's
awful.
Boss Baby evolved.
Yes, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. And there's a few other characters that are really stupidly derpy looking. Uh, and they they don't make it clear what universe this is set in. And they do some interesting things in the very beginning that starts to tell you that it's kind of like homogenized. It's all of the universes. But then they go and change that directly afterwards. They kind of contradict that and they do some changes that don't make sense. I'm trying to figure out. I would love to talk more about this movie, but I know a lot of people still haven't seen it. But it's very flawed, but it's still very enjoyable. Like they fuck a lot of shit up. There's a lot of continuity errors and plot holes and dumb shit, and then there's several scenes where the other spider characters don't act like themselves, like they intentionally have them do something that's out of character for them because plot needs it, kind of thing, which is stupid. Why'd you write it that way in the first place? Like that wasn't necessary. But overall, I thought it was really cute. It was really fun, and the most important part of the movie, in this case, well, I should say the chunk of the most important part was Miles and his family, and they got that right. Like they had the Prowler arc in there, which was his defining moment. Um, for Peter, it was his Uncle Ben. For Gwen, it was Peter. For Spider Ham, it was I don't remember who it was actually for Spider Ham. It's off the top of my head. But for
Spider
Spider
Ham
Man,
has an arc.
yeah. Well, he
Oh
has his own
fuck's
story.
sake!
They all have arcs. No. In the books, they have arcs. They don't in
Do
this
you know
movie.
anything about
They
the Spider Girl that has the mech? Because I know
Yeah,
she
that's
has
Peter
her
Parker's
own.
daughter.
Oh, that's
That's her.
her.
It's his daughter. Yeah.
What?
He has several. I know most of the parallel universe Spider-Man characters. Penny's the one I know the least about, but I know Peter died, and when he had that version of Penny,
Penny Parker?
she inherited. Yeah, Penny Parker.
Oh, she looks.
She inherited. She's not a main character. She
Bro, she's
inherited.
got an Evangelion mech. What the fuck? That's so dope.
Are you gonna let me?
God,
Yes, yes.
continue. Sorry.
It's like a little crab mech. She inherited his powers, but it's different. Like she communes with spiders. She has a psychic link with arachnids, so she can talk to like scorpions, spiders, ticks, fleas, that kind of stuff. She's not very fond of the other bugs, so she doesn't talk to them very much. But she can talk to spiders, and because she can talk with them, she shares intelligence with them, so they actually develop personalities and like they will bond with the mech. So the mech has half of the personality, and the spider has half of the personality, and it becomes it's her only family. So Penny's stories, like all of the Spider-Verse characters, are tragic. For Spider-Man Noir, which extra special thing, it was played by Nick Cage, which I was ecstatic about because it was
I heard about
perfect.
that.
Of Nick Cage, yeah, he did such a good job with it. And for Noir, it was his partner that was murdered. And for all of them, they didn't take responsibility for their abilities and for what they were able to do, and they paid the price for it. So the thing that there's some things that bothered me, like they address Miles. Does anybody know Miles' story with the Prowler?
Nope.
An Ultimate Spider-Man?
Negative.
I'm reading all this stuff about Penny. This is
I'm
cool.
not going to blow it for you then.
Okay.
But that the Spider-Man, the Prowler arc is integral to Miles being Miles.
Okay.
And they found a way to work it in a very organic manner. It's not nearly as detailed as the books, but the way they did it did justice to both the Prowler and the Miles. His mother is perfect. She is the mother from the books. The super loving, super warm, like, oh, mijo, like huggy, sweet as fuck mom. Like, they got her perfect. His dad's perfect. And interestingly enough, they did not kill his dad, which I found interesting.
Spoilers.
Because if I remember correctly, in the Ultimate books, before the Worlds joined, I believe his dad died as well. But he did not die.
All right.
Anyway, it was a good movie, but if you are a diehard Spider-Man fan, there's a lot of dumb shit they do. You're just be scratching your head. Like what they did with Doc Ock did not make sense, and what they did with Kingpin was fucking retarded. Oh, and what the fuck was up with Green Goblin?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah. You'll know when you
from what I've read here.
It's worth seeing. So I would say that, like, it's flawed, but it's not like Star Wars.
I want to read this comic book. From what I've read here, so when Penny Parker was 9, her father died piloting the Spider suit, or SP//DR. That's how they spell it. But they don't refer to a Peter Parker whatsoever. I mean, at least in what I'm reading at, it might be hinted at, I guess. But she's Japanese descent, so unless he went and fucked a Japanese bitch. The pilot suit she wears is inspired.
It's still him.
Yeah, because it's Earth 14512. So it's an alternate reality, right? So
he also has a reality where his entire family has powers.
That's pretty cool, bro.
He has a daughter, and he's married to Mary Jane. They all share his powers or something.
The pilot suit she wears is inspired by the plug suits. There's a lot of Evangelion influence to these photos and the way it looks and shit. That's pretty cool. All right, well, that's dope. I like the weeby side of it. I'll take it.
Otherwise, I haven't played anything really. I just did that, and I'm going to go see Bumblebee because apparently it doesn't eat total ass.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
They kept Michael Bay out of the room for the most part. Thank you for that.
Nice.
But other than that, I had a good Christmas. For some reason, I got a lot of Transformers. Wasn't expecting that.
That's good. I didn't even ask. How was everyone's? Or Shawn, you said yours. Tyler, how was your Christmas?
Other than being sick, it was good.
Nice.
I got a Switch, so other than that, man, that was about it. Like, really being sick kind of fucked with my holiday plans, but oh well, I was with family. That's all you can ask for,
Yeah, exactly.
So. How about y'all's?
Yeah, mine was good. My sister came through and she actually got me a 2B figurine. Right?
She came through.
Yeah, she came through with the weeb, and it's really cool because it's like one of the posable ones, and it doesn't have all our weapons. Figma? I don't know if it's exactly. It doesn't say Figma on the box, but it's all in Japanese, so I have no fucking clue. But it's posable. It has a little robot friend next to her. You could change her head. You can put a katana in her hand. You could change her hands, so she has different hands that pop in and out, and you can pose her legs. She has a few joints of articulation. I haven't even taken it out of the box.
Oh, you can pose her legs. That's
yes. So she looks really cool. My other sister actually came in clutch too, and she got me a My Hero shirt that says like UA on it, so it's the logo of the school, which is really fucking cool. And she got me a Deku and a Todoroki. Those they're kind of like chibi but doofy looking. I forget what they're called, and they're really popular. No, they're American. Pops.
Oh, Pops, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She got me a Deku and a Todoroki Pop, so that was pretty cool. So that was about a little bit of weeb cheer to spread around. I appreciated that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I remember. I don't know if we referred to it on the podcast, but she was telling me she had a present for me that she said I would literally cry, and I wasn't able to figure out what it was. I did not cry, but I was ecstatic. I was very excited to get it. I thought it was really cool. But like it was awesome. She did. I really appreciate that, and she looked. I'm sure she looked hard to find that in particular. So that was cool. Christmas was nice. We had family come over. We hung out. We usually have my stepsister and or what is it if it's from my father's first marriage. What is that called? In law? No, it's step, right? It's either step or half. Isn't step when I don't know.
It'd be your half.
Yeah. It's my dad's sister.
Your
or my
step
dad's.
Would be if it was from non-blood. Your half is from blood.
Okay.
Oh, half sister,
So my half sister and half brother came over. They're actually quite older. They're like in their 30s. So, but it was fun. We just kind of hung out, watched some movies. We watched what's it called? Christmas Vacation. On TV and stuff, so it was nice just having everyone over, chilling out. I beat Caitlyn's ass and smashed a few times because we got pro controllers. So
bro, that game is amazing.
It's so
my
good.
god,
I love
it's
Smash.
so fluid.
I
need to get it. I need to fucking get it.
It's really good. And then let me know so I could beat your ass online, bro.
Buddy. Oh yeah, I have to get the subscription too. I know that's different. It's cheap though, isn't it?
It's $20 for a year. Do not do it monthly because then at that it's $5 monthly.
I never do that. It's stupid.
The only reason I do is because like I'd buy it for a year and then I use it for a month and then don't touch it anymore, kind of thing. And then there's $20. So I was seeing.
Yeah, I need a reason to get it. Like right now, I don't have a reason.
Because even now, it would only be Smash, and I barely play Smash online. A lot of it's local, so I don't know.
No, like if you played Smash, you probably get your ass like raped too.
What do you mean, bro? I'm good,
bro. Like it's a local, bro. Like I'll be raping you.
Okay, all right. Whatever you say. All right. Well, Shawn, you got anything else you want to add before we continue?
For Krima.
No, not really.
All right. Well, I'm glad you all are doing well. I'm glad you all could join me. I'm glad everyone tuning in can join us tonight for episode 79 of the Thought Patrol podcast. One big thing I'm going to task you all tuning in with is as we get to the main topic, we're going to go over our top threes. If you feel like participating, let us know your top threes, your top three games, and if you do it there's multiple ways you can do it. If you want to join our Discord, you can do it that way. If you want to do it through the YouTube comment section, we just want to hear from you guys, hear what your guys' favorite moments of the year were. We would really appreciate it. We're going to actually go ahead into the housekeeping so I can give you guys ways of doing that. First thing first, we do Twitch streaming. So now the Twitch streaming is not really on a schedule anymore. It used to be, but work kind of fucked that over. So now I'm announcing when I'll be streaming. I do it on Discord, Twitter, Facebook. So if you want to follow us in those means, Facebook being just Thought Patrol Podcast, Twitter is Thought Patrol PD, and then Discord, obviously, you can see the link below. As well as everything else, you'll be able to find all the ways you could connect with us here in the description below, anywhere you're tuning in. So we'd really appreciate that. If you guys want to follow us on Twitch, check us out there, check the streams that we do, hang out with us in that regard, or Discord and just say hi, like the podcast, hate the podcast, go fuck yourselves, whatever. We'd appreciate it. Also, while you're there, feel free to subscribe if you're on YouTube. YouTube's pretty much just a podcast center right now. I haven't done a Let's Play in a very long time, just because there's a lack of time with like school, doing the podcast, doing the Twitch streaming, and then work on top of that. It makes editing very difficult. So YouTube's really not, it's kind of like a shell of its former self as of right now. But you can subscribe there. You can subscribe over on pretty much any listening platform. We're on Spotify, Google Play, even though they don't really support podcasts anymore, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, a few other places you could find us there. Listen on your favorite respective platform. And finally, if you guys want to help us out, feel free to leave an iTunes review. Help us kind of show up higher on the list of other podcasts. And just leave what you think we deserve, whether it be 2 stars, 5 stars. Why is that Shawn guy always shit on my feelings? Blah blah blah. Whatever those things. Let us know, and feel free.
Wait. You have feelings?
Yeah, bro. Not my feelings. My feelings are void. I'm talking about the viewers. Doesn't matter what I feel. Yeah, we all know Shawn's the people's hero. He says what no one else says. Psychic vampire. All right. So we got a few mailbag questions this week, boys. We got some interesting things to go over real quick before we move on into our main topic. There's not really any news for this week. It's been actually very dull because of Christmas and everything else going on. Everyone's kind of taking a light break for the holiday season. So it's going to be pretty much straight into the main topic after we get through some of these other things real quick, and then we'll talk about that. So first, we have a question from Sam. He says, "Hey nerds, it's me again." So he's really sticking with this jock character. I'll take it. You've done a good job answering my questions about games, and I gotta say, y'all are starting to grow on me. But you're still nerds. Here's my question for this week. As the year is winding down, 2018 was a monster year for gaming. From blockbuster AAA titles to charming, awesome indies, the games of this past year have been tremendous for the industry. What are your favorite moments of this year, and what are you looking forward to next year? Did we answer this? Why do I feel like we answered
This is the same question.
I might have pulled this not realizing we answered it.
You don't.
I think we were saving it for the New Year's.
But we did answer the second part, the looking forward. Well, there you go, Sam. I read your question twice. Fuck. So we will talk about our favorite moments as we get to the main topic. And we already answered the, like, what are we looking forward to next year with games at least. That was last week's, last episode. So if you want to hear that, you can go back. I do apologize for that. I really when I read it, it really did not strike any bells that we had gone over it. But I am.
Wait, are we, is this the New Year's? I mean, because New Year's tomorrow, is this the New Year's podcast where we're supposed to go over our actual favorite events focused on the last year? Or are we doing just the thing where it's like, memories that we created in the last year, because it's very different.
We've shared.
It's mixed. It's mixed.
Appropriate.
Pretty much mixed. So we're gonna talk about like favorite things from the year, like video game wise and stuff, and then we'll go into. I said that before we started. If you were listening, the memories that we made either with connections with viewers or things that we produced and shit like that. It's mixed together. So, all right. Well, Sam. You still managed to get into the mailbag even if we already answered your question, but that's what it is.
Miss you, buddy.
So next we have Lorik. So I had asked a question in another group, and he's kind of twisting it up. He says, a slight twist on a question Kyle asked in another group. Each of you name video game titles that describe the sex life of the other hosts. Throw community members if they're also if you like. For example, Shawn might say Hand of Fate for Kyle. Keep up the great work, guys.
That's a good one.
That's a great movie.
All right, so it's actually a game too. It's a card game. But
there's a called Gamers Hands of Fate. It's fucking great.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we'll go around the table. Each of us will make a title for the other person to describe their sex life, and then you can do yourself at the end if you want. So we'll start with Tyler.
Okay. Let's see. For Shawn, he's an interesting character, and I don't know. I feel like based on the few stories I've heard from the man himself, I don't know. Like I'm thinking, you know, you're into the weird shit, so
Bloodborne.
Imagine Shawn. Oh boy. Oh buddy.
So Bloodborne.
Yeah.
All right. What about me?
Yeah. And for old Cal over there.
I like.
I'm trying. Hold on. Let me think. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think it's pretty clear here. We can go with a little Smash Bros.
Oh! I Smash Bros. I like it.
the original though, like none of the newer ones. The old 64 one.
All right. I like it. And then for yourself.
I don't have anything for myself. I mean, well, you said I wouldn't have to. I can't think of anything for myself.
Yeah, well.
I'll come back to it later if I think of something. But y'all go ahead.
All right. What about you, Shawn?
All right. For you, it would be Dawn of Sorrow. That's a Castlevania title.
Okay. That was for me, right? Or is that for
Kyle?
All right. What about Tyler?
Fuck, I can't remember the name of that stupid fucking game where you're playing an inmate break out of jail.
What?
Playing an inmate trying to break out of jail.
Yeah, it's like an 8-bit style, and you can play co-op or something like that. But you
Oh, fuck. I have it in my Steam library, actually. Let's look at my Steam library. Fuck, I know what you're talking about, because I got it in a Humble Bundle. It'll be in here somewhere. I know exactly what you're taking. Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
Alan Wake, the fucking Xbox.
No, that's not it. That's not it. This is kind of cheating, actually. I'm gonna try not to cheat too bad here. Fuck, what was it called?
You need to know the name of my sex life, damn it.
The Escapists. That's what
it
was called.
I'll call him the Escapist because he's getting married soon.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
And for me, I will go with another Castlevania title, and I will go with Lament of Innocence.
Jesus. All right, let me think.
I doubt.
For Tyler, let me think. I'm gonna go with Alone in the Dark. So Alone in the Dark. For Tyler, for Shawn, let me think. Damn. Oh, what was that one game that they're making a third one of? Fuck. Wasteland. I'm gonna go Wasteland for Shawn. I'm just taking this opportunity to talk shit about you guys.
It's probably fairly accurate.
And I think mine, I'll do.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
What can I do to make myself sound better?
There isn't really anything.
No, there really isn't.
Really.
I know one. World of Goo.
That went to dark places I wasn't ready for.
World of Goo. I like it. Oh my goodness. All right. What about? Let's do Sam. And then we'll do the sender of the question, Lark. I don't want to sit on this for way too long, but we'll do a few that come to mind. You said some of the community members.
I got one for Sam.
What about Sam?
All right, because I'm pretty sure Sam's sex life is trash. Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Oh shit! Fuck.
I'm kidding, Sam. I'm kidding. Oh, man.
Honestly, dude, you should have gone with like Sonic 06. I think that would have been cool.
Jesus Christ. For Larik.
I'm sorry, Sam. It was there. I had to take it.
For Larik, I'm just thinking of video games of this type. I'm not even trying to like connect them to other things.
What's the point?
Monster Hunter. How about that for Larik?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Monster Hunter. What was that other game, that indie game that came out a long time ago? Oh, this one's perfect actually. Fuck, what's it called? Oh, I might have to Google this. Is that cheating? I mean, I thought of the game. No, that's not cheating. Fuck you. Let me look it up. One second. Half Minute Hero.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh,
you
man.
bastard.
So that's Lark, Half Minute Hero.
So much right now.
Let's do one more person from the community. Let's do Marshall. How about Marshall?
Marshall?
Bueller.
Final Fantasy. Dead Space. What other games? Fuck.
How about Pong?
Jesus.
just a ball going back and forth.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, I like it. God Hand. What about that? Fucking God Hand. That was a good game, God Hand. I feel like I need one more. Shit. Oh, what was that? Fuck. Bro, it's on the tip of my tongue. That game where you ride your horse all over the place and you're saving your girlfriend.
The one with the giants?
Yeah.
Titans or whatever?
Shadow of the Colossus. I like that one. What about that one? I'll do Shadow of the Colossus.
I like how Kyle says it, laughs, and everybody else is like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, he's pleased with himself.
Oh, one more. I'm just thinking of ones that do well at describing sex lives at this point. Fuck, that anime game, Shawn, and they had a fuckload of them, and everyone was dying because they performed this ritual in school.
Oh, you mean like Book of the Dead and shit? That one.
I don't know if that was one of them, but what was the main name of like the series? They made a really bad anime for it.
Oh god, it was terrible.
Corpse Party. Corpse Party. I'll take that one too. All right. I hope that was enough to suffice. Hopefully, you guys have some fucking
Dead or
ammunition.
alive.
Dead or alive. Dead Rising. Jesus. Oh man.
At least you're not hitting him with like a Bubsy 3D.
Oh jeez. Oh. All right, I'll take that. Let us know what you guys think. Some games that describe your sex life. Again, and the multitude of ways that I had described earlier. Let us know what you guys think. We got one more question to talk about. We got Funny Guy actually sending us in something. So, yeah, he says, "Hey, gents, and possibly Caitlyn. It is well, she's not here, but I'll relay the information to her. It just occurred to me I had never really opened up with you guys. Well, a little bit with Shawn, but otherwise not too much." Ooh, excuse me. You usually read Sam's 12,000 word essays he sends, so this ought to be child's play. Here we go. Fuck. Jesus.
That wasn't me this time, Sam. I want to go on record. I haven't picked on you once.
Once someone told me the world is going to bankroll me. Well, I believed them. I'm not the sharpest tool in the set, unfortunately. This is a... Do I finish reading this?
Why are we doing Smash Mouth?
Do it.
This, of course, led to a really smug attitude until reality hit square in the mouth. Well, my sister was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Like a bitch just there to rub it in. Well, before you know it, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. At that time in my life, I was still young. It just didn't make sense not to live for fun. Just have a good time.
Who is this?
This is Smash Mouth, but it's got like a billion extra adjectives. Marshall.
Why don't you sing
Marshall,
it?
I don't even know you anymore.
But living like that, as well as focusing a lot on school, just kind of makes your brain get smart and your head gets dumb. Meanwhile, there's just so much to do, so much to see. It's incredible that you have your... so much to see. It's incredible you have your whole life. So I figure, what's wrong with taking the back streets? In the words of my grandfather, you'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Anyway, that's my story and a bit of my philosophy. All of you have a great week. I bet
I don't understand what just happened. I don't know if it's because you read it so terribly or
I fucking bet that's a copy pasta, like something people spam on fucking streamers. I bet you it's a copy pasta. But thanks for the question, Marshall. If you guys want to send us questions for us to answer on the podcast, we will read pretty much anything, as you can tell from me just reading lyrics from Smash Mouth. You can send it to us either through our email at ThoughtPatrolcast@gmail.com, Discord in our mailbag segment, or on Twitter with the hashtag TPMailbag. We will compile the questions. Again, feel free to ask whatever you want. We will read it on the show here before we go into like our main topic and stuff. So if you want to know why we suck ass or why...
Because we like it, God.
Bethesda's an awful game company, we'll talk about it here and provide our opinions. So we appreciate all the questions this week, you guys. It really helps a lot. We're going to move forward into our box office tops. Kind of talk about the movies that came out this week.
What did come out?
What did come out, indeed. So we have a few things. Actually, we're kind of working on week 2 of a lot of big launches. But for this week, we had Vice, Holmes and Watson, which I heard was fucking terrible. Simba with 2 M's. I don't even know what that is. But what do you guys think is number 1?
I think Spider-Man's still number 1. Or Aquaman. I don't know. One of the two.
Aquaman just came out, I thought, no?
It's been 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah. It's on second week.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I'll say Aquaman.
Aquaman?
It's Wet Thor.
Wet Thor? Oh, shit.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse?
I don't know if I'm going to stick with Spider-Verse. I'm not going with Wet Thor. I'm going with Spider-Verse.
Okay. At number 1, we have Aquaman pulling $51 million for the weekend, sitting at a total of $188 million in its second week. At number 2, we have Mary Poppins Returns pulling $28 million for the weekend, sitting at a total of $98 million. Yeah, I heard it was good, but I don't even remember the original Mary Poppins now that I think about it. At number 3, we got Bumblebee sitting at $20 million with a total of $66 million in its second week. And number 4, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sitting at $18 million for the weekend, sitting at a total of $103 million. At number 5, we have The Mule sitting at $11 million with a total of $60 million in its third week. A few new things. Vice came out, which is that comedy, I think? I don't remember. And we have Holmes and Watson that also came out. Those were 6th and 7th place, respectively. Some other movies, Stan and Ollie, Destroyer. I've never heard of any of these. On the Basis of Sex, I've never heard of any of these films. That's the top 5. Aquaman going ham, almost sitting at $200 million. I wonder what it's worldwide.
I heard it was good, but I mean, I don't know.
That's because you have an ass load of females going to see Wet Thor shirtless through most of the movie. This is the truth. You know it's the truth.
It has actually grossed $748 million worldwide and made $67 million in its opening weekend. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm straight, and I'm almost tempted to see it just because of Wet Thor.
So
Wet Thor.
In respect, Spider-Man has made $213 million worldwide. So, you think Spider-Man's not doing as well as Aquaman just because it's like a cartoon?
It's because of the style of the cartoon more than anything. Most people don't know shit about the character, so it's not like the flaws in the movie would dawn on most people.
Now, if it was like Spider-Man Far From Home, if you would swap those, then
it would do a lot more.
You mean Homecoming?
No, Far From Home, the next film that's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the animation style, more than it being animated, is what turned a lot of people off. Because the first 10 minutes is a nightmare to get through. It's bad. And then I guess they just turned back the motion blur some because it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I've heard that it takes some getting used to, yeah. That's interesting, though. But, like, a lot of people, it's not like a lot of people will get in and then leave after 10 minutes unless the movie's horrendously bad. A lot of it's, like, what you hear from others will get people to the theaters or what you see in trailers. So I'm wondering if just the fact that people see that it is a cartoon, they are immediately dismissing it as being a good film and it's not making as much money. Because if you look at like Homecoming in its opening weekend, it made a fuckload of money. And Spider-Man usually does make a fuckload of money, especially now with Marvel being big. It might also be because it's detached from the Marvel name and it's Sony instead. But I wouldn't see that because it's better than Homecoming. I've heard from a lot of people that they liked it better than Homecoming as well. So I don't know.
Homecoming was lame. I didn't really care for it, except for the Gambino.
I mean, it technically made its money back, so that's good. We'll see more of it, hopefully, at some point from Sony. I just think that it might be people dismissing it because of the fact that it's, like, animated in the style of a cartoon, and that's why not as many people are seeing it. Even though it's still doing good, but, like compared to other Marvel kind of technically, because it's a Marvel character, technically, Sony owns part of it. So people just seeing Spider-Man are excited to see Spider-Man, but I wonder if the fact that it's animated turns off some of like the more of the mass viewer kind of thing.
There are references to all of the Spider-Man movies and the old school cartoon too.
So that's the films. That's what's going on in the box office for this weekend, guys.
Really, did Watson really do that bad? I mean,
it's like in 7th place. I just heard it was a bad film. I don't know. It pulled 7 million and it's sitting at 19 million total.
I don't find the idea intriguing draw.
I heard from someone that is actually a fan of those two actors that they did not like it whatsoever. Like it was just the comedy wasn't there or something like that. So I don't know.
Well, it looks like a spoof, like a hardcore spoof, and I mean they don't really do spoofs anymore. I mean they had like a weird rebirth with that high school movie and the date movie and all of that garbage that came out, and it just kind of glutted the theaters to the point where nobody was going to see them. And before that, you had spoofs in like the early 90s, but there's kind of a drought in between because it only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
You know, the really, really dumb humor. I mean, there was it's not something that's super popular. I mean, it scores with like middle schoolers or ninth graders, but outside of that range, I don't know a lot of people that really enjoys that type of content anymore. It's kind of a passe thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I'm not talking about like Step Brothers level. That's not a spoof. That's different.
All right. So I'm thinking, what the fuck was I going to say? All right. Well, that was our box office tops. Next, we're going to move into our review corner. We do have our final 2 Christmas films, the Christmas review. We'll go ahead and talk about that real quick before we get into our main topic, kind of discuss our feelings on our opinions on the movies Fred Claus and The Night Before. Good greetings and good cheer for all who draw near, for the Thought Patrol crew has a gift for you. Splendor and awe from the greatest flicks even Saint Nick would guffaw. Welcome to 31 Days with the Thought Patrol podcast. So, let's go ahead and get into that. Now, it has been a while since we've recorded, and what the fuck was that? What was that? Who was manhandling their phone, bro? I love it.
Shawn moving around.
Oh, shit. All right, boys.
My mic's like way away from.
It's okay. It's okay. No one comes here expecting good audio quality. We're fine. So, let's start with Fred Claus. Again, as always, the thing with these Christmas films is unless like it's like Nightmare Before Christmas, and the thing that's interesting is like Nightmare Before Christmas, I sat and paid attention to, but paying attention to it since the story was thin, it didn't really benefit me a lot, but I enjoyed it in that realm. But when I watch these like live action Christmas films, for some reason, like my brain just fucking turns off sometimes, and I'll have lapses of understanding. And these I watched like practically 2 weeks at this point now. So I didn't do it like I said I was going to, but I need to catch up on kind of revitalize my memory on like these movie synopsises so I have a better idea. And hopefully I'll remember some of the criticisms I may or may not have had.
Why didn't you just write the shit down when you watch them?
I can't do that shit, dude. I don't know why. I'm just not that type of movie watcher. It's weird. I don't know. So go ahead and start, Shawn, because I know as we spoke last time, you are more analytical than I am, and I find it hard to analyze Christmas films for whatever reason.
Vince Vaughn is a talented actor, and he's a good actor. But the thing about Vince Vaughn is when you stick him in the wrong role, he just kind of reverts to the same character that he does in his bad movies. Like this annoying, irritating, fast-talking swindler douchebag. And the characters he plays are not likable characters. Like in those movies, and like half of his stuff, maybe a third of his stuff, but I think it's closer to half, is him playing just in general sleazy assholes. And they're not likable. And so you can't get behind them. And if you can't get behind the main character or have hope for the main character or see things from their viewpoint, it becomes difficult to really get into the movie. And in Fred Claus, there are moments where you can see where he's coming from, because the basic premise is he's Santa Claus's older brother, and they have this goofball, stupid back history thing, and Santa Claus basically
it was like
basically hogged the love from his parents. That's the way he felt. And to a degree, the way you see it, that happens. Like he kind of gets a little bit, he gets shoved in the back seat because Kris Kringle is perfect.
Yeah, it's right? Like the idea that why can't you be like your sibling kind of thing, and you're like constantly compared to him. Yeah,
And Fred's a normal kid, and Saint Nick is magical, and so it doesn't really work out well for Fred.
Kind of
and
unfair.
So he ends up hating Christmas, hating Santa Claus,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a dumb premise for a Christmas movie because it kind of doesn't get the point of Christmas in a way, but it could have flown if they had given it a better script or better characters. But for the most part, even though you can see his pain during certain scenes, and those scenes are well acted, it's just not a good fit for Vince Vaughn. He's good at playing a swindler, but normally he plays a fast talking character that actually has a heart of gold. He just ignores it, or he plays a villain, or I mean, I've seen movies where he's just fucking fantastic, but when he does movies like this, he's annoying and you don't like him. And except for those little moments of pain that you see here and there, he's just an annoying asshole. And they make Santa Claus kind of like this dumb, futtering, like tubby, magically innocent guy. He's played by Paul Giamatti, and Paul Giamatti's fantastic. And it's interesting seeing him as Claus, but overall, I don't find the movie very watchable. It's also got Kevin Spacey in it, and Spacey shines like he normally does, even though he's a piece of shit. It is, typical Spacey being the charismatic bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't find it enjoyable. I didn't really like the characters. I didn't like Santa Claus's parents. I didn't like Santa Claus's character was okay, but he was kind of a pussy. And I see Santa Claus as this beacon of love and compassion and generosity, but I don't see him as being stupid. I see him as being damn near omniscient. He knows things. He is aware of things. He's not stupid. They kind of make him stupid in this, and I really like that. And I like, again, parts of Fred Claus are nice and feel Christmassy for the most part. It's just his character, Vince Vaughn's character, or his portrayal of that character grates on me more than it pleases me, so to speak. And I don't really think it's a good Christmas movie. I think it's not terribly great. I'd probably give it like, I don't know, 2.5 limp Santa hats out of 5.
Oh, damn, dude.
The only reason to really watch this movie is to see the few tiny scenes where Vince Vaughn shines, and to see Paul Giamatti play Santa Claus. That's really it. And once you see that, you're really never going to want to see it again. It's just the one experience. I've had the misfortune of watching the movie twice because I forgot I watched it the first time.
See, man, because I thought it wasn't horrendous, but it's not like, because the thing with Christmas films is, since they're usually for an occasion and there's so many of them that come out each year, a lot of them being kind of clusterfucked together with all the stupid Hallmark movies that come out, I think a lot of the times a movie really has to be good and shine in one way or another for it to become like a Christmas classic. And I don't watch this movie, and I never at one point thought like, oh, this would be something that I'd put on every year and show my family and stuff like that. I never thought it got to the realm of like Christmas classic. Although for the most part, I couldn't say I was like unhappy while I was watching it. I always liked seeing the North Pole in Christmas movies. And I like seeing the North Pole in this movie. It wasn't anything exceptional. It was okay. It was cool. I like seeing those scenes.
It reminded me of the Polar Express North Pole in a way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When they did that aerial zoom and the whole thing's like a lit up city, or like it, and it kind of had that thing on a scaled down level because all the houses were smaller.
Yeah.
But I thought the set design was pretty decent, and it was a modern take on. Good, but I just thought it was stupid.
That's usually like my like shining moments of like Christmas films, is if Santa's involved, it's seeing the North Pole and seeing how it operates, and if it is something that maybe takes it one step up or changes it a little bit from like what you would typically think of it, that's fine. But like I would agree with you with Vince Vaughn's character. Like,
so annoying.
I think a lot of the struggle from like the rift between the two. I mean, understandably, early on, if you keep getting compared to a sibling that is better than you in ways where you can't really achieve it, I can understand that frustration, that separation, that divide, not wanting to be around that character because it reminds you of the past, and the past hurts, blah, 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 stuff like that. but I know like there were some things that I thought shouldn't have been as important to Vince Vaughn's character as they were, like the thing with like the stupid the birdhouse thing where he like cut down the house. Like I like if
that was more symbolic than anything, but they really didn't portray it enough as symbolic. I think the big problem is there are powerful ways to be able to portray that struggle that Fred Claus was going through and that emotional damage he has, and yet they really didn't take advantage of those, and they just went with cliche, by the numbers kind of jealousy and bitterness and whatever, and I think that I don't know if like Vaughn just didn't have a handle on the character or whatever, but he just reverted back to that like when he's not doing a good movie, he plays the same character every fucking time. All of the movies, he's Fred Claus, and all of his bad ones, he's always that character. And he just fell back on that again in this film. And I don't know if that's on him or if that's what the movie wanted, but because the character was so weak and frankly annoying, which is probably why the movie wasn't all that enjoyable for me. Any of these touchstones that they have that are supposed to show why he's the way he is just kind of lose some of that validity, and you really don't get that. I mean, I think what they're trying to say is it's symbolic of how his bond with his brother was crushed by his brother not being aware of his feelings and by his parents. I mean, they really did shove his ass in the back seat. Like that wasn't all, like you could see how Santa Claus was getting all of the attention and all of the love, and he just didn't matter anymore. It wasn't like in a lot of family films where one kid feels like they're secondary, but in reality, that's not the truth. This wasn't a perception thing. Like I really got the feeling that was like at least 60-70% accurate. Mm-hmm. So you can't blame him for growing up kind of a little bit of a bad guy, but to the degree that he was and how hung up on things he was and how he barely communicated and he was just using people, and like, I don't know, man, it's just, I don't think they really portrayed things properly. I don't think the writing was on. It was just, I don't think it was strong. I agree with you 100% though. Like the birdhouse and other stuff, like I don't think it was portrayed in a manner that would make enough grounded sense in the context of the. And I don't really mean to make it like this movie is even remotely that deep. That's just the only way I know how to words.
Okay. Yeah, I would come to agree with you too as well with a lot of and usually how this ends up is we pretty much for the most part come to the same revelations when we talk about films that we did sit down and watch stuff like that. But it's just like the issue with making a character is I think it's a weird balance, because if you want to make a character not necessarily detestable, but just not enjoyable in one way or another, you need to give them like a lot of reasoning behind it to be that just unenjoyable to watch in those degrees. So you actually feel it's actually it's like a pity feeling for the character, and there's your connection in that regard. And then there's a turnaround and then they come back to their senses, blah, blah, blah. But with this, there's just so many instances of him just being an asshole. Like you don't want to feel pity for him because you feel like it's almost as if he's too far gone in that degree, and you just don't want to continue watching the character. And if you make your technical main character that way, it just makes the film almost kind of like drag on in a way as he continues to do or stay in that kind of character archetype where he's just like an asshole and does mean things. And it doesn't, you think when you watch a film that's supposed to be a Christmas film, the idea is you have imperfect people like coming together through the Christmas spirit or all that stuff, and families are rejoined and stuff like that. But he's almost in the realms of antagonistic at this point, just doing from like, even like, I'm just trying to piece parts together here, like the thing with the when he was like shredding the kids' letters to Santa in the mailroom and stuff like that, and just
that wasn't him. That was Kevin Spacey's character. That was the guy who didn't get the Santa Claus, the super.
Really?
The one emotional part that I felt, I mean, because like I said, he had moments where you could feel his character.
Okay.
And I think the strongest one was when he started passing all of the naughty kids because he understood where they were coming from, and he knew a troubled kid that lived in his building, and that kid was all of a sudden naughty, but he knew why the kid was naughty, knew why he was acting out.
Yeah.
He knew the struggles the kid went through on top of him being a bad influence to the kid. And yet that kid was like number one on the naughty list. And he was like, oh, fuck this noise. And he went back and passed them all. And that part was a good scene. But he gets way too few of those good scenes and way too many of it being Vince Vaughn playing a douchebag. And when you cannot empathize with the character, you can't like the character. And when you can't like the character, you can't root for him. And if you're not rooting for a character, why the fuck are you watching the movie?
Yeah.
It's at least that kind of movie. I mean, obviously, if there's a Hitler biopic for Hitler, the point is like you watch an escapist movie or a holiday movie to feel the characters and to root for them and to believe in something, and it's just really not. The film unfortunately fails in that. I think I just said for the most part twice. Technically 3 times if you're.
You're good. You're good. We need for the
What's
most.
your rating for the movie? Did you see it, Tyler?
I saw it I remember when it came out, but I mean, I haven't seen it in years. All I remember is Vince Vaughn being in it, and that he was the brother, and they just didn't get along for most of the movie. And then the end, it's a Christmas movie, so it's all cheers and happiness at the end. But honestly, if I didn't remember it enough, so it probably wasn't that good. But I mean, there's so many Christmas movies like you guys said out there. It's like, what do you really take? What do you take from?
It's forgettable.
Yeah, like out of all of them,
I
like,
forgot
there's only
I saw
so
it
many Christmas
completely,
movies
so.
that really that stand out, and honestly, I feel like the only ones that really stand out are the classic ones. I mean, for me, probably the most modern Christmas movie that I can recall that I enjoy watching nowadays is Elf, and that was like 2004, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And but that was more of a comedy though than anything though too. I mean, that's not even a serious Christmas movie. So,
and, no, I think it's Christmas because it came out the year before Polar Express.
Yeah, excuse me, and Polar Express was good. That was the other thing I was going to say was like most of those ones I enjoy are the animated ones. But I mean, Miracle was at 34th Street.
That's a fucking classic.
That's a classic. You have obviously A Christmas Story. Not so much the sequel, but
they made a sequel.
You also have I mean, technically Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, but it got re-released as one. But the man himself said it's not. So I don't know. That's up to debate. I don't know if you guys talked about that before or not. The past few podcasts.
We haven't had that debate.
You guys have or had not?
We have not had that debate.
Okay, well, let's bring it up then. Do you guys believe, or have both of y'all seen Die Hard? I don't know if Kyle has. I'm pretty sure you have, Shawn.
I have not.
Like 100 bajillion times.
It's been a very long time since I've sat and watched Die Hard all the way through.
Right, and that's the first one.
Yeah, and every time I hear it, I always regard to it like I think of it as like a meme. Like people say it just because it's like a joke, because of the idea that an action film where people are being murdered and stuff, and people are getting shot, it's all in this one building and stuff. And just because it takes place on Christmas, it's a fantastic movie. But is it necessarily a Christmas movie? I don't know. No. I wouldn't say so.
As a Christmas movie, the theme centers around Christmas spirit.
But I do think they make plenty of Christmas.
It centers around Christmas in a positive manner. If it does not center, if Christmas it's just a detail that sets up the timing of the event, it is not a Christmas movie. Home Alone is like 60-40. Like the majority of the movie is focused around Kevin and the Wet Bandits, but I'd say 60% of it is still like, even though that's the majority of the movie, it takes frequent pauses to reflect on his loneliness, and in the beginning of the movie, it illustrates the dissonance between himself and his family and how they're all losing touch so badly that they don't even notice he's with them. They're just focused on all the superficialities of it, and it has them coming together for Christmas at the end, and that makes it a Christmas film, even though the majority of it is the hijinks between him and the Wet Bandits, whereas Die Hard takes place on Christmas, and there's a Christmas party, and that is the only things linking it to Christmas. The rest of it is just a classic balls to the wall, near perfect, if not perfect, action film.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
Yeah, like that does not make it a Christmas movie. That means it takes place around Christmas. That's just timing. Like, but Silent Night, Deadly Night is a horror movie that takes place around Christmas. It has nothing to do with Christmas.
Is that the film with the? It's like the second or third. It's the memes like Garbage Day. Is that those set of movies?
I don't fucking know, man.
Or it's like there's
6 or 7 slasher series that take place on Christmas.
It was like
that's one of them.
He was like in an orphanage, right, when he was young, and because his parents were killed by a dude that was drunk and dressed up as Santa, right? And so he like goes crazy, and then like his whole fucking like catchphrase is like, it's like something like "you've been naughty" or some shit like that before he kills people, and he's always dressed up as Santa while he's doing it. At least in the first two, because I know the like 3.
There's a few Santa slasher movies out there.
No, there is.
There's like 6 of them.
Yeah. There's Jack Frost also. That's one where it's like a killer Jack Frost.
Yeah, killer.
That movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He
go ahead.
Fucks a girl in a bathtub with his carrot.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I mean, fucks her without her acknowledgement, like he rapes a girl and then kills her.
Okay, real quick.
I think it was Shannon Elizabeth.
Okay, real quick. I had one last thing that I remember popping up when I was watching the film. So, for Fred Claus, we had there was one part where Nick and Fred, because he's like there's like shit going on, and he obviously had to come to the North Pole to make the what was it? It was like the bail money, right?
No, he was trying to get Nick to give him.
It was like this like kind of get rich kind of thing.
Yeah, he was gonna buy a space, turn it into a basically an electronic bookie agency or something.
Yeah, so he's like, well, you have to come to
out of Wall Street, and then they would cross the street and place bets.
Yeah, he's like, so you have to come to the North Pole, do that shit, and then like. I'm really trying to piece together what I fucking remember of this film. I know eventually they get into a fight.
Basically, Santa cons him into coming up to the North Pole in exchange for the money, in hopes that he could spend time bonding with Fred. And
that obviously doesn't go as planned. So they eventually get into a fight, and Santa hurts his back, right? So now fuck. They're like, fuck, we can't do Christmas now because Santa's hurt his neck, and it's like, or his fucking back. So it's like, oh, well, Fred kind of, after he does like the...
Well, it didn't get that far. Like, remember the dude basically shut down Santa's operation, and Santa got pissed off, and then they had to fight.
Yeah.
Left, and then came back when he found out it was fucked.
You're okay, yeah. You were cutting in and out there. But so they're like, oh, well, Fred can deliver the presents. So they do all this. He delivers presents, blah, blah, blah. Takes the girl to the Eiffel Tower, blah, blah, blah. And he comes back and he starts to gain weight, right? So now the idea is like, is he Santa now? That was one of the questions I had. Is he now Santa, or is he just part of the family now?
No. I didn't notice him gaining weight. I just noticed them that.
Well, he was like, when he came back, he's like a little bit fatter. He kind of had like a beer belly going on kind of thing. So like, not.
I did notice.
Oh shit. So I always thought I'm like, is he?
Santa Claus?
No, this is Fred Claus.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at all. He came back looking normal. He walked into the pub, and everybody cheered, and the dude kissed the hot chick from Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and that was actually kind of it. Like,
and the movie ends with like the birds back up when the movie ends.
With them having dinner all together.
But like at the final shot, they have like the birdhouse is back up outside, and then the bird is perched on.
Yeah. Santa brought his birdhouse back.
Yeah.
That was outside of them having... with Kathy Bates still being a cunt to him.
All right. I would give... I don't know, because like... again, the movie was never... It was just like... It was like in the middle, like nothing really special.
Yeah,
like
average.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Wasn't there like
That's
a
why I
little
gave
black
it
boy in the
2.5
movie?
limp hats.
One more time?
Wasn't there like a little black boy in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of the right movie. I was sure I was mixing it with another one.
Vince Vaughn basically becomes like a big brother, big sister of America kind of to him. He mentors him and coaches his ball team and kind of becomes a father figure until the kid gets adopted. I have no fucking idea why they didn't just have him adopt the kid. Like that was like the logical recourse, and that's where I thought it was gonna go. And then they're like,
because
nope,
he's black.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, I have no problem with him being adopted by a black family, but I mean, they haven't indicated at any point that Vince Vaughn would not be a good father figure to him after he fixed his shit. And so when he's a decent person by the end of the movie, and he obviously loves his kid, wouldn't the logical step be to adopt the kid? I mean, this movie was out before the SJW movie became big, so I don't imagine people
Yeah, but then it'd be
not allowing the kid to be adopted by his own race, so to speak, or something. I don't understand why it would be. Like, I mean, I thought they were perfect for each other, family terms. So I don't know. I thought that was unnecessary.
But I
I
mean,
there's nothing wrong with it. I just thought it was unnecessary. He already has, I mean, the hot British chick and Vince Vaughn. So.
Oh, I thought she was French.
No, what? Rachel Weisz.
Again, it's been years since I've seen this movie, so I'm just.
How the fuck did you jump across the fucking pond to France? That's what I want to know.
Hey, it was a small part of the pond. At least I didn't say like somewhere else.
Say like somewhere else.
I thought she was Somalian.
No, she's obviously Indian. What do you mean?
Yeah, true.
All right. I'll stick with your review. I'd give it 2.5 ruptured Santa Claus discs from injuring his back out of 5.
That's very specific. Okay. All right, so moving on to The Night Before with Seth Rogen.
I was going to say, this is a Seth Rogen movie, right?
Yeah, Seth Rogen, and God, every time I go to fucking say the...
James Franco.
There's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Falcon.
Oh. Anthony Mackie. Fuck, I was trying. I was like, it was on the... One more time?
James Franco was in it. He had a cameo, but so did Miley Cyrus. But their cameos were both fun. Miley Cyrus's cameo was banging, dude. It was good.
I don't like Miley Cyrus. That's it.
She just got married.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Miley Cyrus is a fucking genius. She's not what she plays on TV, but she does all that shit just to fuck. I mean, it's all part of... It's just like that other chick, Kesha. Kesha is not a fucking party horse slut, but
I haven't heard anything related to Kesha in like 5 years.
That's because she ducked below the spotlight because there's some really rotten shit. It's dark shit. More power to her though. But no, I think Miley's just the new. She's not doing anything that far out there. I mean, she plays this kind of sleazy role, and that's working for her. But if you've noticed, she's been stepping away from. I'm not a fan, and I don't like her public behavior, and I think she's fucking retarded. But I know that that's all intentional. I just think it's retarded intentionally. Easily build an empire another way. She's just doing it the easy way. But if you read her lyrics are actually extremely well written. Like even Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is a great set of lyrics. It's a Miley song, and I don't do my style.
So The Night Before.
Yeah, The Night Before. With my body double in it, because everyone refers to me as Seth Rogen. That is like literally because there's always one trait that people, when they see you for the first time, they point out for some way or another, whether you are self-conscious about it or not. I'm not saying I'm self-conscious about looking like Seth Rogen because I think he's a handsome man as much as I am a handsome man myself.
My fucking self. Fuck yeah, I love it.
But like even recently, I had it
right now.
I've had it happen at work where I'd fucking people like, oh yeah, you look like that one comedian dude, Seth Rogen. I'm like,
because he's not a comedian.
Well, he is a comedian.
I mean, he's an actor.
He's a writer, but he's not an actor. But he's not a. He's never done.
He's not like stand up, but like he plays comedic. He has done stand up
on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh shit! There you go, Shawn. He's a comedian.
Yep.
Get
Yeah,
fucked.
I stand corrected. Then that was not something I was aware of.
I know he usually plays comedic roles, and then the godforsaken project that we don't talk about regarded blah blah blah. Green Lantern. Now. Fuck off. All right, let's keep going.
What? He wasn't in Green Lantern.
I thought he was. Wasn't he Green Lantern?
No, you're thinking of Green Hornet. The Green Hornet.
Green Hornet. That's what I mean. Both those movies were trash. I don't give a fuck. Who was Green Lantern? That was
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Wow, he's come very far.
I look like a fat version of Ryan Reynolds.
You look like a fat.
That gets brought up.
All right. So, do you want to go first for this, or do I? Tyler, have you seen The Night Before?
I have. I think I can have a little more input, but
then you start.
I mean,
first,
I haven't seen it recently, so I'm the least informed currently. But from what I recall the movie,
bro, you're probably at the same regard I'm at because it's been like 2 weeks, and the only thing I remember about this movie was marijuana and a big ass party. So
yeah. So the premise of the story is what? So these guys are trying to get together one last time.
Well, they have like this Christmas Eve tradition thing that they do.
Yeah, right, every year, and this is supposed to be like their last year because everyone's like going up and doing their own thing now. Families, blah blah blah. They're getting older too. So
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, his parents died when they were all like 23.
In a car accident.
Oh, actually, one of them is in the movie. One of them's 34, one is 36, and I believe the other is 38 or something like that. They all have been friends since childhood.
Yeah, right. So the part that I don't
whatever. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's parents died when he was 20.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was.
And so they decided that Christmas, which was like a few days after the funeral, he was still packing shit up, that they were going to go and they were going to be his new family since he didn't want to spend Christmas with. He was alone.
Yeah.
So they went and they basically forced him to go out and fun. Years since then, for like the last 14 years, they go and they spend Christmas with him. And then he spends Christmas when he goes home. So they are with him from like 7 in the evening or 6 in the evening on Christmas Eve onto Christmas Day.
Right.
They leave their families and they go and spend because he has nobody. And then, they would all get together in the morning and then go their separate ways. And they finally come to the point where they didn't want to do that anymore. Everyone was growing apart. He didn't, but they had realized that they were apart. And so Anthony Mackie and Seth Rogen, who is about to have a family because his wife is pregnant, Mackie, who's this, I don't know what sport.
Shawn, did you like move away from us, from your phone?
Yeah.
No. Did you sound a little bit further?
I don't.
Oh, hey, how's it going, bud? Oh, wow, much better. Thank you.
But they Anthony Mackie, who I guess he plays football. I don't think they ever said what he played, but he's a sports star who's been a minor leaguer or a bench for fucking 10 years, and all of a sudden recently he's picked it up and he's a mega star. So he wants to focus on his career and not fuck around with this childish shit anymore, and Seth wants to focus on the family bit because he's got to be a dad soon, and so he's not wanting to do it. So they just wanted to break the Christmas tradition off, so it's the last year. So it's their last hurrah as the three amigos, so to speak.
Yeah. And so, because I think it was football, wasn't it?
I don't remember them actually saying, and I just watched it.
Because I know, what's his face? Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, he's like a musician, right? That was working at the hotel?
Yeah, he was working as what's it called? A server?
Yeah. Is where the hotel where they find the tickets to the fucking Nutcracker Ball. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I almost
Anyway,
fell
so
back in my chair.
I think halfway into their Christmas adventures, like 4 years ago or 6 years ago, they started catching wind of this top secret elite party
Mm-hmm.
about and legends and shit. And they keep trying to find tickets because you can't get with
It's invite. It's
tickets.
like invite only. Yeah, it's not like you can buy a ticket.
And nobody knows how you get tickets. They just appear. Like two people are offered to sacred people, usually influential people, or somebody who knows somebody. And they've been trying to get into this party for years. It's been this like pipe dream. He just stumbles upon these 3 tickets and gets the 5-finger discount out of somebody's jacket. That starts the quest to go to the party.
Mm.
And then things do not go according to plan. The friendship is tested as everyone starts to find out that they really are growing apart. They all have these inner demons that they're fighting, and as long as they're letting their personal flaws and their insecurities and so on take precedent, it's going to drive them apart. So they're forced to face this question on Christmas Eve, what their priorities are. And so it starts off really, and there's a ton of like typical Seth Rogen adult humor, but it all has a very warm tinge to it. This very much is a Christmas movie. It very much has a super great message to it. But there's a lot of just crazy fucking shit.
Yeah.
About 3/4 of the way through the movie, they split up and a breakup moment, but they still decide to go to the party together. Of course, it all ends up fuzzy, but that's your turbo fast forward.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I do agree that for the most part the focus is on like this Christmas spirit, people coming together that are incomplete or broken and kind of reconciling with their problems or things, and just learning to live with one another better than how it was, or trumping that issue of in this movie it's growing apart from one another. I like the characters and their interactions with one another. I never felt like they weren't not friends throughout most of the time that they were, besides the fact that they were all fucking yelling at each other. And we got like people accusing people of using steroids and shit like that. But I think that one more time,
which they were.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily any false accusations or anything like that, but
no, when they called each other out, they may have done it, they may have really, but it was true, and friends do need their shit. I mean, it's just how they went about it. Not as a bitter outburst. It was an attack instead of a state of concern.
Yeah.
And you really could see how they loved each other. I mean, they really did feel like legitimate. Like, this is a great buddy movie. It is very convincing. It's right up there with some of the other out of that. Kevin Smith, View Askew movies, the Zach. Those types of movies that have these great razor sharp dialogue, the top scenes, and there's some very over the top shit in this movie. Like some of it, it's so over the top that it almost feels like part of a different who Santa Claus is. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And then like the one guy with the wings and being the son of Santa Claus, and then you've got the drug dealer with the heart of gold.
One thing
there is legitimate magic stuff happening in this. There's magic, but as far out as it is, and I think the Santa Claus bit with the wings part was a little much for the rest of the movie.
I had was it actual music? I had considered that with like negative trip, like they were bad trips from the drugs. That's what I was thinking was going on with like the weird shit.
All of that. Every person that took a toke off of those points that he hit out had his meaning given to him. That's each character's arc was given to them in that.
Yeah, like how the dude saw his daughter was like a stripper and shit from the one toke, and then we had even like
that wasn't. That was because it was showing him his fear. It wasn't showing that wasn't reality. It was showing
No,
that he
yeah.
was afraid. He needed to understand that it's okay.
It's technically Christmas Story, but with 3 people, and it's pushed forward instead of by ghosts, but by magical marijuana. Don't at me. Because even like when they eventually that was a huge like generalization. Even when they eventually get to the ball later on, and Ethan gets like the
Well, there was a past, present, and
past, present.
future.
Although it was
They
separated
were
amongst
handled
the
very
3.
differently. Like the one guy was afraid of the future. The one
Yeah.
guy wasn't living in today, paying attention to what was happening today. He wasn't appreciating what today. The other guy,
Shawn, get closer to your phone.
What?
Bitch.
It's right in front of my face.
It doesn't matter. The closer, I don't even think it's using the mic on your headset, because every time you get closer to your phone, you sound better. Tyler, would you agree with me?
All right.
Oh wow, Luck, you sound so much better. Thanks, man.
All right. Anyway, for me, I love this movie, and I guess you could say there are echoes of A Christmas Carol in there, but I really don't think it was trying to borrow heavily from it. It was really its own entity. But this to me is, I thought that my most recent Christmas classics, and like Tyler said, they are rare. I mean, I have a list of them, but I think my most recent ones were Elf and Polar Express. I had forgotten this one. Like, I love this movie. I love this movie because the charisma between the actors is real. I love this movie because it really does feel like Friends, and there really is a lot of love there. I love it because it's legitimately and genuinely funny, and because it's not mean-spirited. I mean, Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton actually ends up having kind of a Christmas message at the end, but for 90% of it, it's just this extremely adult, foul-mouthed trip into very subversive humor. And even though it has a Christmas message at the end, it still doesn't feel like a Christmas movie because it just goes too far. And this one rides that line, but I don't feel like it dips into too far. Like, I really feel like it's got a positive spirit. It makes you feel good. There's a lot of legitimate laughs. It is very funny, and it does have some touching moments. And I think it's meaningful enough without being overly sappy. I love that movie, and that is definitely, I believe, my most recent modern Christmas classic. The only thing I would think that holds it back is that it is R-rated. It is an adult Christmas classic, but this is a Christmas film for, people who are adults, and for people who have grown up with friendships, because one of the messages in there, and it's something that I've experienced firsthand, because I am a little bit older than you guys, and I have watched friendships come and go that didn't have to, and I've watched what happened in this movie happen, but without the happy ending, time and time again. And it's something that I've never understood, where I do understand that people can grow apart, and I do understand that people can't spend the amount of time or energy on each other that they used to be able to. When their lives grow in certain directions, the demands are different. The energy that you have to give to people is different. The energy that you can accept at different times is different. And so the way you're able to interact with people is going to evolve. But they said something, they said something in the movie that strikes a chord with me at the very end, where they're saying, yeah, like, the older you get, it's harder and harder to do this, to keep up these friendships when we have so many different things going on. And then one of the other characters says, yeah, that just means we got to try harder. And I think that's a key that I think a lot of people forget, is when you're married, or you have a career, or you've got a lot of difficulty or challenge or activity going on in your life, and you don't quite have that same size hole that used to fit your friends like it did 3 or 4 times a week, or what have you, or all the activities you used to do. That doesn't mean that you can't keep up that same strength of bond and that same connection. You may only see each other once or twice a month, or once a week, or even once or twice every couple of months, or sometimes I have some friends that I've kept up a tight connection with, and I only see them 3 or 4 times a year at most. But the thing is we make that effort,
Yeah.
and it's not just like I only get to see them then. I get random texts or a phone call once in a while. Like, they go out of their way to make sure I know they're thinking about it, that I'm still there. And that takes a conscious thought. Like he says, we have to try harder. We may only see each other on Christmas, or we might only see each other once or twice a year at fucking at Halloween, theme park events or whatever. But we text each other or we call each other. We do something to make sure the other person knows that we're still valid. We still care. That connection is still there. And when you're making those little efforts, that are big efforts in the grand scheme of things, when there's so much going on in life, that's all it takes. But I think so many people forget that it's important. And I think so many people do what these characters started to do in the beginning of the movie, and they start to think, oh, well, this is how it works. I've got a wife and kid now. I don't have room for my friends. I'll always love them, but I'm just not going to see them very much. They'll still be there, but they cease being part of your family, and they become friends, and they kind of cease being friends in all but words, and they become acquaintances until you haven't talked to them for 10 or 15 years. And all it takes is for you to try harder, because you actually can do it. And it doesn't take that much out of you to reach out and do that. Even if it's just a little thing here and there, that counts. I think that, while not exclusively a Christmas message, I think it chimes up very well with Christmas. And so, again, I do think this is a Christmas movie. I do think it's a modern classic. I just think it's a little bit of an outlier just because it's focused toward adults.
Yeah.
And a Christmas classic is a family film, and this is not a family film.
Yeah, no.
But if your children are of age, I think it very much could. So at least for me, I think it's a great movie. I strongly suggest everyone watch it. I wouldn't say it's as heartwarming as something like Elf, or as magical as something like Polar Express or The Grinch, but I would definitely give it. I want to give it 5 just for personal preference, but to be fair, I'll say 4.5 out of 5 magical Christmas Santa Claus's drug dealing angel son joints.
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn, I put the down
your
my
boy, Mr. Green. Give me the good shit.
Yeah. Was that his name? Was Mr. Green, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Green. Yeah, he was. That was. Yeah,
because
at the end, they're like,
by, what's his name? Oh, he's fucking great in that.
Because at the end, that's when they're like, oh yeah, Santa's son. I don't know how the fuck. So Santa fucked an angel.
Who knows, dude? I think that's going deeper than needed.
Give me the lore behind this. That's what I want to know. Is it fucking Michael Shannon?
Yeah, Michael Shannon. Yeah, he was fucking amazing.
I googled it.
I love that shit.
But I found it.
You want to tell the audience who fucking Santa Claus is?
Oh, I'd have to Google that too.
Oh, I know who it is.
I'm very bad with actors. Okay, I'm very bad with actors, bro. Like
Santa Claus is Tracy Morgan.
I'm so
Santa Claus is black. Don't at me.
Hey, listen. Hey, Santa Claus is black. God is a girl.
His son is super white. Yeah.
Not a problem. So he adopted an angel, maybe.
Who the fuck knows? It's his son, though.
There you go. So,
what about that ninja thief that was like a Grinch? And
he hated Christmas. Yeah,
people lessons. Like, she was hilarious. I'm a huge fan of Lizzie Kaplan, and she played Diana, and I adore her. And she was great in this movie. She just didn't get enough time.
Diana was Ethan's significant other, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Lizzie Kaplan. Like, I fucking love the shit out of her.
Yeah, she's cool. I really suck.
She plays
suck
perfectly snarky, funny characters.
I suck fat penis when it comes to putting like names to faces. If I see the face, I'm like, oh, that's that guy. He was in that movie. But if it's like a A name? You just give me a
Why
name,
is
I
it
draw a
only
blank.
when it comes to putting names to faces? Like, you were sucking fat penis not like 15 minutes ago.
You got a point.
I also liked what's his name? Chris's mom. I thought she was kind of the voice of Christmas. Outside of Mr. Green,
Okay.
like when she gave them that that tough love talk, and when she was talking to them at the dinner table, like she was kind of the voice of Christmas. Like every time she said something, she was fucking right, and they were like, "Yeah, you're right," and then she would say something like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right."
All right. So one more time, what'd you say? What was your review before we move on?
4.5 magical Christmas joints out of 5.
Okay.
Because you insist on a 4 out of 5 scale.
Yes, I'm going to give it. I agree for the most part with what you're saying, although I think the like heavy adult vibe kind of takes a little bit more away from it in regards to it being closer to Christmas classic than you might agree with. So I'm more of in the realms of like a 4. And I'll do 4.
4's good.
4 stripper daughters out of 5. How about that? 4 stripper
daughters. How did you like the fact that like 3/4 of the movie was Seth Rogen on a bad trip?
Yeah, there's so much like the main driving point, like plot device in this movie is drugs, and it's marijuana throughout the entire thing for the most part. Crazy.
And for that, I'll give my rating 3 half-ass Seth Rogen laughs out of 5. Something like that, right?
Those are all pretty reviews.
Oh my god.
I appreciate all of those. I really love it, but I think one of the reasons I love it is that like that's a very big deal to me. Because I've lived that movie time and time. It's the bullshit. Okay. And every time we failed. And this is one of those times I watched it succeed. Most of my friends couldn't try hard enough. Can't try hard party.
Did you move away from your phone again, mister?
You're breaking up.
God damn it.
Stay near your phone. It's that simple.
Singing. It's like fuck it. I moved it 3 or more inches away. Damn it.
No, it needs to be right in your mouth.
Like anyway, I love that movie, so I'm glad that you at least enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. So with that being out of the way, holy shit, boys, we're at our main topic. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to name a category. We're going to name. Didn't you participate last year with us when we did this, Tyler, too?
I might have.
Yeah, you did.
I think Tyler's been in all of our
I'm doing something right.
Either Christmas or New Year's Eve podcasts.
Yeah, he was in the last one, too. I remember him. All right.
I'm just going to make all the important podcasts.
Okay, makes sense. All right,
That's
so...
That's because you're our number one boo.
There you go. So... I'm going to name a category. We'll go around the table, do our top 3, why that may be the case. Now, it does not have to be, it is literally down to your personal enjoyment of the game or personal opinion of the game. It does not have to be what you thought was the best game. It could be whatever game that resonated with you the strongest throughout the year. And there's 3. We're going to do that with games. We're going to do that with anime. We're going to do that with movies. Maybe music. We might do 1 or 2 for music, just to expand the category a bit, and then maybe TV as well. I don't watch TV, so that'd come down to you two if you guys watch TV, but I'm not about that shit. So, we may or may not do that one. I don't know, but we'll start with games. The most important one, what you all are here to hear, it'd be our top 3 in our personal experience games that we, again, had the most fun with throughout the year. So we'll start with you, Tyler. Now. What I will do is go ahead and say whatever game, because again, we didn't play everything throughout the year, but so just something. My top 3, what I think is. Yeah, when it comes down to something, when you think back on 2018, the 3 games that resonated with you the most throughout the year.
That's tough. This year was really difficult for me because it was my transitional year from moving into my apartment, and kind of getting off the games for a while. So it was like a very, very different way of doing things, and not used to like my normal schedule. That's Shawn, yeah.
What the fuck is that noise? Are you tapping on your phone?
He's like making me race to giving me the answer. It's subsided.
So
I mean,
I was trying to see if I could fix the mic problem. My bad.
That's tough. I'll have to say.
I have some examples like of games that came out this year to give you a relative idea.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Like I'm just trying to think like in the order of what it should be because I'm trying to think of the past year because there were games that I was playing right before and right after, you know. And actually, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'll have to say because I think I played it again at the time. It was in January. It was right before I moved into the apartment. I was still with my family friend, but I would say my number 3 game will be actually no, that'll probably be my number 2. My number 3 game, excuse me. I don't know if I have number 3 slot. Fuck, man, that's so tough. I like the way it started to go, and then I was like, wait, you're missing something. Okay, well, fuck, I don't know what the game will be because I don't want to put this game as my number 3 spot because I know it doesn't deserve that place. But I'll go ahead and say my number 2 game will be Uncharted 4 because that's when I was finishing the Uncharted series. I remember it was like within that time frame when I got my PlayStation of the previous year, but I hadn't played it up until I bought the Nathan Drake collection. So I played those. Well, I had played 4 first, then played 1, 2, 3, and then I played 4 again. So I'm gonna put Uncharted 4 as my number 2, because that was just around the beginning of the new year.
Okay.
My number 1, I'll say because it's technically, I mean, and it just happened, but I'm gonna put Breath of the Wild as my number 1 because it's going to be the game that I know I'm going to put a lot into just because I have so much history with it. It automatically kind of takes that, you know, it's like your favorite child, you know, or your favorite grandchild. You give like that kid like an extra present or two, fuck the other one, you know, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that, even though I barely played it, I know I'm going to love it. I've been loving it so far ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe next year I'll probably if I ever fucking remember it, if I'm even here for next year, but you know, I'll see if I'll.
You'll be here, bitch.
Yeah, the expectation. So that's my 2, my 1. My number 3. I don't know if I really have a 3.
Doom. You know, I know you played Doom this year, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, you've already fucked up by saying Breath of the Wild is number 1, and that game came out last year. So might as well.
I realized I bought Disgaea 1 in October.
But what I played this year though, so go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
I'll probably. Damn. You know what? I'll say just because I had such a good time playing it with Antonio for co-op. Dead Space 3 I actually enjoyed. Not so much of the game itself, but just the experience I had playing it co-op. It made it immensely. I mean, it was so much fun. It was just so enjoyable playing with someone, having like laughs and shit like that. So, and not that the game was terrible, but like.
It's not a bad game.
No, but
it's not a great game like the other ones.
Yeah, so I'll put that as my number 3.
Okay. All right.
So Dead Space 3, 2 is Uncharted, and 1 will be Breath of the Wild.
What about you, Kyle?
Oh, my turn. All right. I've said it again. Mine kind of fall in line when we talked about our game of the year. Except I'm going off of personal enjoyment. My number 1 would be, I think it would still be God of War. Like God of War was one of those games where it came out, I couldn't put it down. Every time I thought about it while I was at work, thought about getting back to it. Just was constantly like, I need to keep playing this game. I want to just be in this world more, and I love that game to death. And I'm super excited to see more of it. I love the story, I love the characters. The direction of it was phenomenal. The combat was really, really solid, and it felt very fun to play. Not only was it a good narrative experience and a good, just a well-written experience, on top of that, it had really fucking solid, deep combat that just made the game fun to play and fun to explore in. That was one of the problems I had with Red Dead, is that I liked the characters. The story was okay for the most part, but people were telling me it gets better. But I hated just playing the game. Like, I did not enjoy the jank. I've never been a fan of the jank that exists in Rockstar's games. I didn't like it in GTA 5. I didn't like it in GTA 4. And here we are in a game that supposedly next gen groundbreaking, and we still got people fumbling over rocks and bullshit because your character controls like he was you're constantly drunk or something like that, and I was not a fan of that. So it got to the point where I wouldn't enjoy playing the game. I wanted to see more of the story, but I didn't want to put the time in to actually find out what was going on. So and Jesus, I swear to God,
roughing through his chips.
I'm gonna beat up Shawn. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just tie him into a spot, suspend the phone above his head, and just make him sit there and talk.
Ooh.
I will say though, I think if I had played God of War, because I bought it like maybe a few weeks ago, I just haven't touched it yet. If I started playing it, then that probably would have been in my list.
Yeah, it's really good. I fucking love that game. So number 2, again, I'm going off of personal enjoyment, would be Spider-Man, I think. Spider-Man was another one of those games where literally me and Shawn, when it came out, I went to go pick it up. He was downloading it, I think, right, Shawn? Were you downloading the game?
No, I bought it.
Okay, well, whatever. We were installing it onto our PlayStations, and we both got it. We both started it, and we were literally up to like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning playing the game. And it was like that for the next week. We would just stay up all night and play Spider-Man. Another one of those games where I literally could not put it down. I just wanted to keep playing it, God, fuck,
I
damn
know
it.
what that was. That was my bad. I know. I'm sorry. I know what that was now.
Oh my God.
At least mute your fucking mic, buddy.
That game felt so good to play, and everyone says it makes you feel like Spider-Man. That's pretty much it. It's a power fantasy, fully realized. It was really good. My biggest thing of it not being ahead of God of War was the fact that it had several things in it that made it... Actually, you know what? I thought of something else. Fuck that. Celeste is number 2, because I forgot Celeste came out this year. Celeste came out very early this year, actually in January. I forgot about that, so never mind. Celeste is actually number 2, and Spider-Man's number 3. For the same reason, Spider-Man, was a very fun game. Again, power fantasy, but then they made several decisions that I thought were kind of dumb, like the idea of playing as Mary Jane and Miles Morales, and they both did not have powers, so you're literally walking around doing stealth. And I would never, ever expect stealth in a Spider-Man game where you're not Spider-Man. And every time those points came up, I understood the point of them in regards to the story, and that in that regard that they made sense as to what was going on, but they could have easily happened in the background with Spider-Man doing something else as he was either getting to the area or something like that, where we did not have to play as a powerless person stealthing around and shit. And the stealth, another thing is the stealth wasn't very good. There wasn't like multiple areas you can go through or different things you can do. For the most part, it was quite linear. Like you were going, for the most part, in a straight line. You maybe would distract someone here and there with the AI being dumb as fucking rocks, and then you would just move on. But I always felt like it was like a complete break. Like if I was going 100 miles an hour and then the light turned yellow and I had to stop all the way back to 0 and wait for 15 minutes, and then I get to be Spider-Man again, swinging around and having fun. So I felt like that kind of ticked it down on the list, because that shit really annoyed me every time it came up, to the point where I was like, fuck, I gotta be Mary Jane again. Let me be Spider-Man. I don't want to be Mary Jane. Get her out of here. Let her just be a character. I don't want to fucking play as her. And that brings it down on my list, because I think Celeste overall was like a phenomenal package, from the gameplay being smooth as fuck to the music being absolutely fantastic, which is why I still think it should have won Music of the Year and not fucking Red Dead. I still can't remember a single song from the 15 hours I played from Red Dead that stuck out to me, where like every track in Celeste was like a fucking banger that worked very well with the game as you were playing it. So Celeste was just a really good platformer, like phenomenal platformer. It constantly worked to teach you how to play without being in your face about it. I love when there's deep systems in a game, and I hate when the developers just sit you in a room and explain them with text boxes. I'd rather it be organic through the world, and Celeste does that in a very organic manner where it teaches you, and a lot of what you're doing is you're figuring out on the fly as you're making mistakes. Like, oh shit, this will kind of propel me a little bit further. I can kind of move in a different way if I use this. If I'm using this jump in a certain way or this wall jump here, and every room became a puzzle of how you can manipulate the game's physics, the game's engine, into getting into the next area, because you pretty much are just taught how to jump and how to dash off the bat, and the rest of the game they just leave it to you to kind of figure out how to work with the game's mechanics to make it to the next screen. And that's all you're doing, make it to the next screen. The art was phenomenal. The animation was really good. I felt like the story and the message that they were telling about not only like becoming a better person isn't just taking the bad parts of you and throwing them away. It's learning to kind of meld that into your personality. So it was kind of like, well, if you have an issue with self-worth or something, you don't just hide that away and remove that from your life. You work with integrating that into, it's just something. I'm trying to explain it and I fucking can't. It's been such a long time, but that was the idea. Like,
you're really bad at this.
I am really bad at this. It's like it was basically, that's the idea. You take the bad parts and the good parts of a person. You don't just throw away the bad, because no one's perfect. Everyone comes incomplete as our own little fucking messy trash bags of human beings, and we all kind of learn to live with one another. And that was kind of the idea of the Celeste was pushing forward. And I liked the story. I really liked the characters. I liked the writing, and I thought all of it was really good. I didn't have a single issue with that game. It had a lot of challenge to it. It wasn't too short. Like everything about it, like A Hat in Time, I could say I felt like was too short. I felt like there should have been more worlds, more levels and stuff. But everything else about that game I enjoyed to death. Celeste, I feel like straight up was just fucking phenomenal in so many different areas. It was really good. So. It's crazy to think that A Hat in Time came out a year ago already. It blows my mind. Because it came out around the time Mario Odyssey did, and that was November of last year. And we're already at the end of 2018. Fucking time's flying by. So yeah, that'd be my top 3 games. I already talked about Spider-Man. So it'd be God of War, Celeste, and then Spider-Man. 1, 2, 3, respectively. So what about you, Shawn?
Number 3... you're right. I haven't this year.
What happened?
You said you're right. I haven't played a lot this year.
Yeah, dude. It's hard when you think about it. That's why I was kind of opening up a little bit.
I didn't even play that many indie games. Like last year was my game. I played like 42 indie games. This year, I don't even know. I think I spent most of this year doing anime and Final Fantasy 14, and then like dicking off every so often just to piss people off.
Final Fantasy 14 is fucking awesome. That's like a honorable mention. I've put so much time in that game. That game is a really good MMO.
I think I've got like 4 or 5 solid days in there. But whereas you constructively spent your time building classes, I spent half of it crafting.
What do you mean? Last time you mean like weeks, right? Because last time we talked about it, you had like 33 days of playtime.
Oh, was it? Whatever.
Yeah, because I have like 20. I just recently passed like 25. I'm like 25 and a half days right now of playtime, which is like
I think I'm at
6. So I'm thinking if you're at 33, probably closer to 34 at this point. How many hours is that? Because I was close to 600 hours at 25.
I don't know. It's not part of the discussion. So my third game would be Mega Man 11.
Okay.
Because it was nice to go back, and because it means a lot to me that a company is going to release a game that does not rely on DLC.
800 hours, by the way.
Pardon?
800 hours, by the way.
Okay. Does not rely on DLC. I don't really care if it's single player or co-op or whatever. It doesn't rely on DLC. The experience is the game you get in the box, and that they are catering to an audience that has grown with them. You know, I mean, obviously Mega Man 11 has added some new stuff to try and pull in new players as well. But one of the reasons why Capcom didn't give, you know, Mega Man any love for a long time was they felt that the audience, which is now in their 30s and 40s and maybe even 50s, that grew up with Mega Man, isn't as lucrative. So they focused on all this other shit. And I like the fact that they're admitting now that the gaming audience ranges everywhere from somebody in elementary school to somebody that's in their 50s or even 60s. Fuck, Robin Williams played Zelda games, you know, and he was, what, in his 60s or 70s when he died? So, just point in case. Like, gaming now encompasses a huge audience of a large swath of what's the word?
You're a disgusting animal. Sorry, talking to my dog.
God, I can't even think of it right now. But the audiences, the different selections of audiences that you, I always use this word, and now I can't think of it. Your demographic, like there's just a vast amount of demographics now, of varying ages and persuasions and interests. So it's even more difficult to figure out what you're going to invest your time and money into. Which is another reason why it's at least somewhat understandable why they keep picking all these shitty games as a service. But it shows that there is love for these long-standing, beloved fandoms, these beloved characters, and that meant a lot to me to see Mega Man come back. And Mega Man's the kind of game where I don't get obsessed with it and play through it all in like a day or two. I'll pick it up and play it for 4 or 5 hours. I'll put it down. A week or two later, I'll pick it up again. Like, I don't play them like I used to because I just have more games now. Before, I'd have 3 or 4 games that you had to just kind of plow through them. But now it's fucking attention overload. So I'd probably put Mega Man 11 as number 3. I put Dragon Quest, what the fuck was that, 8?
11, I thought.
Number 11?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Quest 11 at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been wanting a good JRPG that wouldn't take as much time as Persona. Because I know once I start playing Persona, I'm going to fucking vanish, which is why I keep putting it off. And Dragon Quest is just, don't get me wrong, it's still a 40-hour game, but when you know how to play a Dragon Quest game, you can hit everything, get everything, and still not have to dump a shitload of time into it. It's just a very smooth flowing game. It doesn't require a lot of strategy. You're very much there for the story and to be able to experience the story and just have fun fighting through enemies. It is by far not the most complicated of JRPGs, but it is one of the most iconic, you know, second only to Final Fantasy, which Square is doing their best to light on fire and destroy. So, you know, it's good that Dragon Quest got some respect. I was a little disappointed that they didn't try and do more with it, because they have deviated a bit from the super linear fashion before, and they have at least given you the illusion of some agency before, but it's really not there in this one. But that's still fine. I'm basically playing through an awesome anime that looks like Dragon Ball and is set in medieval times, so it's rad. I love it.
Nice.
And then my number 1 is Spider-Man for all of the reasons that have been discussed and more. Kyle knows I have a hard time sticking with games, and the only thing that threw me out of Spider-Man was the drone missions. And I know that the moment I go back and pick up the controller and I can force myself to play through it without completing everything, which is the hard part because I'm a compulsory completist, I'm going to love the rest of it. Even with my gripes about the little SJW touches, they fisted into its asshole. I mean, I think Mary Jane was a great character before, and she was a strong character before. And I think they disrespected the character by forcing her into being some sort of fucking reporter this time. Like, that was completely unnecessary. She's an actress. That's who she is. So that's just a fandom thing. But overall, I think the game was brilliant. I thought the graphics were brilliant. There's only a slight number of ways that I wish they'd done it better. and I know they're going to do that on the next one. So I was very happy with it, and I even though it does have its repetitive nature and it does have its rough spots, there is no other game that I played this year that I had that much joy playing, and that is the kind of joy. That is why I play games. I play games for that feeling. That is the entire reason why I dive into games, is to fall into a story and love the story and really enjoy the characters and enjoy the world and enjoy the mechanics and just really have fun with it. And they did a good job of taking the Batman fighting engine and really speeding it up. So you're not in combat for nearly as long and you're able to keep moving around. I really enjoyed it. And I think more games should focus on making you smile and less on trying to knock your socks off. I think when the smiles come in, I think the socks fall off anyway. It's like, panty remover for socks. So I think those are my three.
Okay.
With a special honorable mention to that Metroidvania that keeps sucking me in every time I jump in. What the fuck is that called?
Hollow Knight?
Yeah, Hollow Knight. That's a little special honorable mention. I know that's not a game that came out this year, but that game is new to me. And every time I start playing it, I'm fucking in it for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I have a few honorable mentions as well I didn't think about. Monster Hunter World, obviously. I put a lot of time in that game. It was a very fun game, and I enjoyed it a lot. There's Monster Hunter, and there was 2 more came out that I saw when I was looking. Fuck, I just saw it. That one indie game, but that was in my Steam library. Let's check. Where is it? Iconoclasts was a cool game. Really enjoyed that game. That came out earlier this year. Just there's so many good games. It's kind of difficult to.
That was disturbing, Shawn. I saw that.
I'm not even looking at my other monitor. I don't know what you guys talk about. Dead Cells was a good game. Yeah,
Dead Cells is awesome.
So many fucking phenomenal games came out this year, so it makes it really
Kyle,
difficult.
Question.
Blah, blah, blah.
Dead Cells versus Salt and Sanctuary.
I like Dead Cells better. I don't like.
You think?
I don't like Dark Souls that much. I don't know, because Dead Cells is faster.
Good.
It looks nicer, and it's just a roguelike, where Dark Souls is you still like Dead Cells. You can get like
Salt and Sanctuary, not Dark Souls.
Well, Salt and Sanctuary is 2D Dark Souls, pretty much. It takes the same idea. It's in a 2D environment. I like the roguelike atmosphere in Dead Cells better, and I feel like the combat is a lot more satisfying and not as clunky.
It does have that Dark Souls-esque, it's easy to die. It's brutal. I mean, you have to use specific tactics on specific enemies. But I think also, even though the system's not nearly as deep, I think it's more of a joy to play. But I was just curious what your take on that is, because I know that they're both extremely challenging games, and you really... I mean, the combat itself is fairly fast, but it's not as fluid, I don't think, in Salt and Sanctuary. But I think Salt and Sanctuary is a much deeper game. It's much more of an undertaking.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just curious. Please continue.
Okay. So that's it for games. We'll move on into... Wow, it's already 2 hours in. Fuck! We'll move on into our next category, which was, in fact, anime. If you guys listen, you do know we talk about anime quite a bit here. We're going to talk about 3 shows that we watched this year that particularly shined to us. Now, the year is not over, and we are not done with a lot of these shows either. So there's definitely room here and there. This is not a definitive top 10 or anything like that. This is just some of the things that kind of stuck with us throughout the year that we watched. Again, I have a list to help us. I'm going to name a few before we move so we get an idea, kind of jog everyone's memory, because again, it's a long year, and there are just in 2018 187 shows came out or had a season this year. So
and we watched like 80 of them.
Yeah, so I'm going to name a few to get an idea so we know what actually fell within this year. So a few Shawn
I know what I want.
Cells at Work.
Oh fuck! I forgot about Cells at Work. Damn it, Kyle.
Cells at Work. Hina Matsuri. Hanebado was there too. Hanebado was. Hina Matsuri was with the psychic chick and the Yakuza. I'm gonna look through a few more here. Asobi Asobase, obviously. Which is a fantastic fucking show. I'm just looking for ones that pop up that I.
There's no need to mention Angels of Death. That was just a interesting disappointment.
Darling in the Franxx.
That movie, that whole show hurt me.
Yeah.
Like I just was so excited, and it's like every episode that comes out, you're like more and more. You're just, why? But why?
Darling in the Franxx, Goblin Slayer, which is going on right now. I know there's a lot. It's actually fucking crazy when you think about it. What else we got?
Yeah, the second and third season of My Hero, or the half of the second.
God, I'm not gonna put My Hero in the list because I think that's unfair. It will be an honorable mention because that show, because it'd be number one again. I can't
put My Hero as my number one.
Yeah, because it'd just be number one again. Because the newer, because the first season of My Hero was good, but the newer ones have been fucking phenomenal, and I'm so excited for season 4. They dropped a reveal trailer for it.
It is true. Is it a unanimous agreement that there's nothing that has overall beat My Hero?
I mean, you can ask other, and a lot of people are like the elitists are like, oh well, you can go back to like in the
but fuck the
2000s and the 1990s. I don't know. I think as a action,
in terms of recent years,
recent and shonen, I think My Hero holds the cake for being, or takes the cake, holds the cake, takes the cake for being the best fucking action shonen show we've gotten in a long fucking time. Because like,
I think even as a roundabouter, it's not just as a shonen, but as an overall enjoyment of a show. Like I loved a lot of shows this year. I loved Asobi Asobase. I loved Darling in the Franxx. But in terms of just an overall level of joy, not just focusing in specific genres or specific qualities, but an overall just happiness, it would be My Hero. That's the My Spider-Man.
Yeah, that show is fucking phenomenal. It is insane how good that show is. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai came out. Your show, Shawn, Ride D, your favorite.
Oh God.
Seven Deadly Sins got more this year.
Oh God damn it, Kyle! You're giving me more. Stop it.
Gridman, otherwise known as Best Waifus to Ever Exist. Steins Gate Zero came out this year. The new Sword Art show. Tama got reincarnated as a slime. Tokyo Ghoul got a new season. Violet Evergarden. Fuck. Zombieland Saga. Fuck.
We have to do 3. Does it have to be 3?
I mean, you could do 3 and then honorable mentions.
Stop geeking out, nerds.
This year was a good year for anime as well.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
I by no means watch as physically as much anime as someone could watch within a year compared to you two. I'm not as I watch, but not like
he is but a mortal man.
Yes. I live a simple life. Bible Black, High School of the Dead, and
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I watch those every day, dude.
Listing off the classics.
Yeah, right.
I got them on loop.
No, number 3.
So we got Rape and Zombies. What was the next one?
We haven't watched in a while though. But Your Lie in April.
Oof.
Very emotional show.
Those words.
God, that hurts me.
Tears. Yeah, I'm trying to remember too because I think you recommended it, Kyle, and I can't remember if Erica had already looked at it before, or you recommended it to her, or you recommended it to both of us. I don't remember how it got brought up and how we ended up watching it, but I think she told me about it. But I think she said that you recommended it or something like that.
I think I did
because she started going through like an anime phase. Yo, metal, bro, yo. and Shawn's here throwing up the horns for us. So now he's whipping out his penis. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I would say Your Lie. That's at my number 3. Number 2 will be My Hero. I'll throw
God, that
something more.
show's so fucking good, man.
It's good. Excuse me. I
Jesus.
haven't even watched the most current season 2, but that's where I'm left off. I left off on 3. I finished 2. Which is so fucking good. Like the fight scenes, I probably watched all of those like 3 or 4 times.
But there's one moment from fucking the 3rd season when Deku fights Muscular, which is not a spoiler or anything else. That I've watched that scene like 35 to 45 times since it came out. Like
actually, you know what? I will keep My Hero in there because I mean you said the same thing too, Kyle. As an honorable mention, I'll say My Hero. My number 2 will probably be Castlevania.
Ooh,
I
okay.
actually enjoyed watching it.
It's not an anime, but all right.
I never really played the
It's anime style.
It's not an anime, but all right. It's anime inspired. I'll take that. That's fine. You haven't watched a lot. That's okay. It's a cartoon, like Avatar: The Last Airbender or Teen Titans. It's an adult cartoon.
It was animated here.
Yeah, it's anime inspired.
Oh, it was animated.
I don't even think they had a Korean team work on that one.
They had Japanese producers, but they had the animation team.
Genre, it's in the genre of anime.
Well, it's not. So.
And I don't know. I never played the games a whole lot, but I did enjoy watching the show. I like that setting, that style. I love the vampires. I love Dracula. I love the swords and shit like that. Fighting the demons from hell, the hell spawn, all that shit like that. That's always fucking cool. I love that shit. All the blood, all the like graphic violence and shit like that. And of course, the fight with Dracula at the end is like, oh, it's so fucking cool. Excuse me. And my number 1 would probably
be... They made it much more cuddly than it was in the games, though. That's one thing I will give it. They give it a little bit of a Disney ending.
All right, well.
No, I loved it.
I
never expected to see anything even of that level of quality. Like, Castlevania is fucking up there.
Yeah. I get you, I guess, but hey, then bring it on for the next season because I mean, I was satisfied with seeing just that. And then my number 1 would be Violet Evergarden because I've been watching
Violet
that.
Evergarden is so good.
Yeah,
really?
Another Netflix
show. Violet Evergarden's like a nice poem.
Yeah, it's very well.
It's so pretty too. Holy fuck!
It's so pretty. I think it's well written. I like the character developments, the designs and stuff like that. I feel pretty attached. I'm kind of like sad at the end of an episode when you go to leave someone. It's like, but I want to see more of you.
Did you see the bonus episode?
There's a bonus episode?
Yeah, they released another episode.
I thought they took it off Netflix, actually. I remember looking for it the other day, and I couldn't find it. So maybe I just didn't see. But
it's
no,
not on Netflix. It was with a lot of anime after the show finishes, when they're releasing the tankobons, the collected volumes, they'll release a bonus DVD like a third of the way through the tankobons, and it'll be like an extra episode. Usually it's one that they took out or that they made after the fact, and it just kind of fits in somewhere. It's usually not like, it doesn't affect canon typically. Either it's the actual legitimate last episode of the series, or it's just an extra episode, like an extra adventure, and they released an extra one where she goes and helps a little girl or something like that. You might want to look for it on one of the not quite legal sites.
Yeah, so that'll be my number 1, and that's it. Oh, I'm just waiting for 2019 also because you have Code Geass, Lelouch, the Resurrection coming out, so I'll be excited to see that.
I did not expect them to continue that story.
I knew they were for a long time.
He survived, but
I kind of didn't want them to, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a little more.
Kind of didn't want them to.
You already fixed the whole world peace scenario, so I don't really...
Yeah, well, apparently it ended shortly, so I'm curious to see why they decided to go on with it and what they'll do. So I just hope they get all like, I mean, I just hope they make it good because I don't know. Like again, I wanted them to leave it where it was at. So we'll see. But yeah, that's my top 3. So there y'all have it.
Bro, the whole time you've been talking, I've been battling with this fucking list. I've been trying to make one looking at what I have, and this is fucking hard as hell, dude.
You got the list. I forgot half of what you said.
I got 7 shows. in my
Oh,
list.
fuck.
So I have 3 in the honorable mentions, but there's so many good shows that came out this year. It blows me away. Obviously, the 2 major honorable mentions, Attack on Titan. If you're not in that, get in that. It's really good.
God, I wish I could rehear that list again.
I'll give you my and my honorable mentions, and then you might be able to formulate what's going on.
I already know my number 1 and my number 2. It's the number 3 I'm having.
Okay. All right. So Attack on Titan, My Hero. Important fucking shows. Really good. If you have not seen them, you like action, give them a try. They're awesome. But my number 1, since I couldn't do My Hero, I'm going to have to go with Zombieland Saga. Now, I fucking adore this show to death, dude. And this is more of like a personal enjoyment. I'm not going off of whether how good I think the show is or not and how appealing it is to a mass audience. I just look over and see these two finger banging each other over Discord. The fuck? All right. Not the whole fist. She can't handle it. All right. So I have... Oh, fuck's sake. This is what happens. All right. So number 1, Zombieland Saga. Fucking awesome show. Really funny. I love the characters. I love the writing. I like the music. I like the designs of everything. I like the look of the show. And it's just a joy to watch. Overall, a phenomenal joy to watch. Number 2, Reincarnated as a Slime. That show is fucking fantastic. Just a really well-written action show with an awesome main character. Like, I fucking love Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, this is where the list gets a little bit dodgy. I'm trying to figure out... Number 3, I'm going to have to say Cells at Work. You guys are fucking childish. I swear to God, I'm trying to do my list here so we can move forward. All right.
So the audience knows.
Uh-oh.
No,
Oh, boy,
Shawn and Tyler and I are just making obscene gestures at the camera while Kyle lists.
Okay. So, TLDR, they're making lewd gestures while I talk. So you guys probably didn't hear any of that because he lagged out. All right. So number 3, I have Cells at Work. I thought overall, this show was really cool. It was basically Osmosis Jones in an animated form. And I say that, but I think it's better than Osmosis Jones because I feel like there's a little bit more attention to the idea of the show, like the way they represent the body and how these systems interact with one another and all of that, and the different like life-threatening shit that the main character goes through, or the main character's body, because they get this body that they're in gets fucked so often. There's so many like high-level shit going on, from practical like dying from the body being too hot. I forget what the word is. From like massive hemorrhaging to the head region and shit like that. Just this body's getting fucked the entire time. But I love the characters. I love the personification of the parts of the body. And there's so many things in the show that are very small nodes to different things that can happen in the body. Like the things with the platelets hanging around the white blood cells. That's an actual disease where platelets will adhere to white blood cells in the body. So it's a thing. It's a disease. If you look at the main character, she's a red blood cell and she's always getting lost. She's always going to different parts of the body and going the wrong way. And her hair is in the shape of like a little sickle. And if you look at the idea for sickle cells, they often get confused at what areas of the body they're trying to go to, and they'll go all over the place like she is. So she's a sickle blood cell. And they don't tell you that. It's not something that's brought up right off the bat. It's just it's her trait, but it's personified as an actual thing that happens in the body. And there's hundreds of examples of things like that. And it's so fucking cool, the amount of research these people did to make just a show that's just fun to watch. But if you look for depth, there's a lot there in the idea, in the world design and the character design, which is really fucking cool, which is why it deserves a spot on this list. So that's number 3. For honorable mentions, I have Asobi Asobase, absolutely hilarious show, very fun watch to watch with other people. I have Rascal Dreams of Bunny Girl Senpai, which is basically a drama with it's very well written. I like it a lot. It's very good. And then we have Violet Evergarden at number 5. The show's pretty. I'm a big fan of animation, and the writing is really good in the story as well. And then finally, number 6, Darling in the Franxx. It would be higher because I felt like the beginning and mid of Darling of the Franxx was really good. And then as it went to close, I think the quality of the show kind of fell apart. Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't put a lot higher. I think for the beginning to middle, it's worth a watch because it's really good the way these characters interact with one another and they learn more about themselves and the world around them. And there's some elements to the show and some parts of the show that I still remember when I think of the show, like episode like 15 or 16. And that's the one with the little 02. For it to try not to make that no spoilers at all, but little 02. I thought that show was really good, and then as it kind of comes to a close, it kind of it falls apart in the way of trying to explain what's going on in the world to finally coming up with an absurd conclusion, and that's why it's near the bottom of my list. Hanebado is also really good, but my top 3 are Zombieland Saga, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Cells at Work. I definitely recommend those 3 shows. And for you, Shawn?
Yeah, I still have number 3.
7 Deadly Sins was one of the shows. I could go through them again. Attack on Titan, Darling in the Franxx.
Those are both honorable mentions.
Goblin Slayer. Play-Doh Boy.
Good. Go farther back.
I don't have dates. It's just them in alphabetical order, unfortunately. Wow. I'm trying here. Chat. Audience.
It's the bottom. Go alphabetically from the bottom up. Then.
Zombieland Saga. Love is Hard for an Otaku, Violet Evergarden, Tokyo Ghoul, Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Sword Art, Steins Gate, Gridman,
Power of Imagination, fuck Sword Art.
7 Deadly Sins.
I thought I'd never say that.
Persona 5's animated show came out, but that show was awful. A lot of what I had down was stuff that stuck out to me. Killing Bites, which I heard was okay, but it was very ecchi. I'm not a fan of that. Wow, this is super engaging. Hinamatsuri, High School DxD, Hanebado, Goblin Slayer, Full Metal Panic got a new season. Dances with Dragons. Why does that sound familiar?
Oh, that was good.
Citrus, Cells at Work.
All right, so for number 3, I'm gonna go with some underdogs.
Okay.
Fuck that. I'm gonna go with some underdogs. At least an underdog for number 3, just because I believe it deserves more time. Because I think it's a very interesting world, and they didn't really illustrate it very well. It was just kind of, we're going to these places, but you don't have a sense of where those places are, map, so to speak. But I think that Dances with Dragons.
Yeah.
I like Dances with Dragons. I think it has a lot of potential. I think there's a lot they need to fix for the second season. But I think it's a really good story. I think they're really good characters. I like the politics because you basically have a nation of dragons that is not developed whatsoever, but the dragons are intelligent and can communicate. They just opt not to. They kind of see us as lesser beings. One of them takes human form and is a character for an arc. But I thought Dances with Dragons had a lot of potential. I think that was a really good one. For my second one, I'm going with Asabi Asobase because I've never laughed as hard as I did in that show. The only thing that might give it a run for its money is Konosuba, and then behind that is the Myriad Colors and was it Fantasy World?
Myriad Colors Fantasy World, some shit like that.
That was really good, but I would go with Asobi Asobase because that was just phenomenal writing. Like that was top tier Adult Swim kind of humor. And then for my number 1, I'm gonna go with 7 Deadly Sins because I get as much happiness from that show as I do. No, nearly as much happiness from that show as I do
My Hero.
From My Hero, yeah, Boku no Hero. With the only stickler I have for that show is that there are these discount ecchi moments that make absolutely no fucking sense. Like, it's supposed to be humor, but it doesn't fit
Okay.
on the show on any level. Like, sporadically he will grab the heroine's boobs or shove his head up under her dress, and I get why it's less of a problem for her, because they're basically fated. They're like soulmates. They can't not be in love with each other. But it doesn't make any sense, and I don't mind ecchi if it fits the show. If it's something that's mindfully done, not mindlessly done, and like the ecchi and the monogatari fits in some of it. The second season, we're not going to talk about the B girl. That's the toothbrush thing. What the fuck? But it's completely out of place, and there are points when like something sticks out so far that the sexism makes you uncomfortable.
Okay.
In a way, because it's just so blatant, and in that it's stupid, and it's kind of insulting to the viewer. And it also makes it a little hostile towards females in a sense. And again, mindful is not hostile. Mindless or just for titillation, even just for titillation has its place, but that needs to be the point. And in this, the point is a story and characters that are rivaling some of the best adventure anime out there, but it's really drawn back because of that one. And it doesn't make sense for him to do it. It doesn't make sense for him to allow it. It just, no, there's no sense there. I don't understand. Like what it is, it's obvious that the author is putting it in there because he thinks it's sexy or funny, not because it belongs in the story. And I've always hated it when you take a story and you shoehorn something in just because. So that is the only real drawback that keeps it, in my book, from achieving something like Boku no Hero status. The only other thing is that Boku no Hero, every single character, every single choice, every single detail is carefully plotted out with like the utmost of talent and forethought. So there are no pointless characters. There are no disposable characters. Everything exists to illustrate a purpose and accomplish a point, and there are no two-dimensional characters. And you could almost say that about Seven Deadly Sins, but not quite. And so I love it because I really do adore fantasy anime, and I adore grand adventures and stopping powerful bad guys. And even though you could sort of lump this into shonen, to me it stands apart in an adventure genre, and I really love Seven Deadly Sins. I get a good feeling from it, so I'm going to give Seven Deadly Sins my number one. I'm going to throw honorable mentions out to the ones that I said were honorable mentions before, as well as Tokyo Ghoul, and I did get to watch all of Konosuba, at least up to the current point in the storyline. And I really did love that. I had a few gripes here and there, but overall, that was really saved because of the cast's comedic timing, and their improvisational skills was just on point. It was really funny. It was a really charismatic show filled with a bunch of people that aren't terribly good people. And I wish I could give a double place, because if I could, I would also give my number one slot to with That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime, because that show also combines some of the best comedic elements of a bunch of genres that are the isekai genre. There's only one gripe I've got, and that's the computer thing. But I think that's an excellent show. And there's a lot of joy and love in those genres. Like, the guy that made this loves the stuff that he's homaging loves the stuff that he's poking jokes at. This is obviously someone that grew up playing JRPGs. He grew up playing tabletop RPGs. He grew up reading manga. He grew up loving fantasy, and he just took this love of all these genres and made this multiversal nexus point for this show. And that's where it takes place. And it's just a ridiculous amount of fun. And Kyle and I, when we're watching it, literally cannot wait till the next episode. We're like shitting ourselves with excitement. So, yeah, there's a lot of good shows in here. I can't disagree with any of the choices that anyone else made. So, also, Angels of Death sucks. And Rewrited is a giant steaming pile of dookie.
All right.
Makes
Good. All right. So next we got movies. Now, a lot of stuff came out in 2018. I'm going to go over a few of them so you guys may compile your list, and for the viewers at home to understand kind of the pool we're dealing with. I went through and looked. Now, I haven't seen every film, but these are some of the films that stuck out to me. We had Mary and the Witch's Flower came out early on. Ready Player One, Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 2, the Han Solo film, Incredibles 2, the new Jurassic Park, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Mission Impossible, the Christopher Robin film, the My Hero film came out this year too, Bohemian Rhapsody, the Futuristic Beasts, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, and now I know recently we got Aquaman going on as well. Fantastic Beasts, not my bad, I misread it. So, listen.
Harry Potter meets RoboCop.
Futuristic Beasts. I would say my number one would be really tied between.
Hey, I couldn't do any ties. We're not doing any ties this time.
No, I'm trying to see which one will be number one. I really, given the obvious issues with Ready Player One, I just loved watching that movie to death. And I've watched it a few times since then, and I still just love watching it and seeing all the stuff I missed like the other times. But I also really liked Incredibles. So I think I'm going to do Ready Player One as number one, my favorite film. Incredibles 2 as number 2. Again, an awesome film. Just not only was it awesome nostalgically, but I think overall as a film it was really good too. I'm thinking number 3. That's hard. I don't watch a lot of movies. I would give it to Spider-Man, but I haven't seen it yet, so I don't really know. Can I just give it to Spider-Man on value? Like the idea that it's Spider-Man and it's an animated, super stylized movie? Yeah, fuck it. That's number 3. But a good honorable mention to Mary and the Witch's Flower. Not a very, not strong enough to
what
be.
About Upgrade? You liked Upgrade?
That came out this year? I didn't see it in my list.
Yeah.
Wait a fucking second. Oh, that is there. Upgrade was phenomenal. Fuck.
You're welcome.
The way you said that, it sounded like a deep, like your voice had been modified to make it really deep. All right, I'm gonna go Ready Player One, Upgrade, Incredibles 2. Like Upgrade was fucking phenomenal. I love that movie to death. It was really cool. It had some brutal ass fighting in it too, like stuff to the point where I was not expecting like people's heads to explode and shit. It was fucking badass. Everything about that movie was awesome. The ending was not satisfying, but thought-provoking, so I kind of forgave it. But it was kind of scary when you think about it in regards to today's and the future, what we're moving towards. It kind of freaked me out a bit, but that was an awesome. That was my favorite movie that What's Their Faces has put out, Blumhouse, because I don't like their scary movies, but I really thought this was a good film. I liked Upgrade a lot. Yeah, so I would go Ready Player One, Upgrade, and Incredibles 2. Those are my top 3. All fantastic fucking films. I recommend if you have not seen Mary and the Witch's Flower, it's on Netflix. Again, I don't think it's good enough to be considered a Ghibli film, but it's kind of trying to be like that, and I think it still captures some of that essence to the degree where it was fun enough to watch, and the animation, it was phenomenal. So, and the main theme for it's really good, although they only play it once in the entire movie, and that really saddened me.
So it's just never the main theme then.
Yeah. That's what they advertised it with, so I considered it the main theme. All right, for you guys.
Shoot, I'm still thinking.
I went through my list, just stuff that you remember seeing. Again, Avengers came out, Ant-Man came out.
All right. So my number 3 would probably be, and actually just seeing it yesterday, was Bohemian Rhapsody. Again,
I said okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. I love Queen, and like I feel like everyone, you might not listen to their music constantly, but everyone has heard of Bohemian Rhapsody one way or another, whether it's through radio, through a friend.
Did you guys hear? Have you, not to interrupt you, but have you heard of that one YouTuber came out, and apparently these people are doing like reaction videos where they've never heard of Bohemian Rhapsody, the song, right?
Nah, that's shit, bro.
Yeah, I know, that's the idea. And this YouTuber came out, he's like, these people are all fucking lying, and he was just literally sitting in front of a camera, like getting super mad that these people, like even one dude went to the degree and he mispronounced Queen in the reaction video. It was like Quen or some shit, and this dude is just like, there's no fucking way these people are that stupid or like that. Like, you have to have heard of this song, and that I just found that hilarious.
So, like in the movie, and obviously it's Hollywood, so I remember them being that, I forgot what it's called. What kind of movie is that called? Where it's almost like
they're portraying. Fuck! You know what else came out? Greatest Showman. Didn't the Greatest Showman come out this year too?
Yes.
Did it? I don't know.
Oh, wait a second. Did it?
No, wasn't that?
No, that was last year, I think.
Greatest Showman, was that with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah. It's not showing up on this list.
No, I thought that
it had to have been last year.
Yeah, or even the year before.
Maybe late. Maybe late. Greatest Showman came out 2017. Okay, thank God, because that would have ruined my list even more. Because I fucking adored that movie.
Oh wait, that was November last year. Right?
Yeah. It was late last year. That freaked me out for a second. I'm sorry. Continue, Tyler.
So I just felt really emotionally drawn to it. Just again, like the music, they really, I mean, just the mixing and whoever made the film. Obviously, the music is one for itself, but like while watching it play out onto the screen, it's just like you're seeing like history play itself out, And I remember toward the end, I actually I got emotional. I teared up just for, I don't even know why I was really tearing up. I'm like,
why am I pissed?
Like, yeah, pretty much. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm on my period.
Wait, what movie are you talking about?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah.
Also, Venom came out, guys. Just keep that in mind too. Venom came out.
And yeah, that definitely wasn't in my top 3.
Just letting you know.
But
in the bottom somewhere.
Yeah. Bottom of the can. But excuse me. Well, I know Hollywood has their twists on things, but if it's any way relevant or close enough to how they made the movie based on how Freddie Mercury's lifestyle was and how they were and how he was with the band, because it solely really revolves around him. It's not really as much as Queen. It's about Freddie Mercury pretty much. So I've heard some people complain about it because they thought it was going to be about the band, but it's more about him. But he's the front man. He's the lead singer. Without him, who is Queen? So I mean, you have guys like Roger Taylor, but in the end, you hear, when you think of Queen, you think of Freddie's voice. I mean, there's only, you can play any instrument and you can make it sound just like the other person. You might not have the same soul, but something you can't copy is someone's voice. You can never 100% copy someone's voice. That's your own instrument. So it's like someone can play off like a Fender Strat, or I mean, like 3 other people can play off a Fender Strat, and you can't tell who's who. But when Freddie Mercury sings, it's Freddie fucking Mercury. So it blew me away. So I would say that'd be my number 3. I just got really emotional seeing that, and like I wasn't expecting to like feel that toward the end of the movie. And I was like, man, it fucking touched me right in the pee-pee. So,
oh man. Yeah. All right, so 3 Bohemian Rhapsody. Number 2.
My number 3. My number 2. For my number 2, it's not a 2018 film. It's actually a rather old film, but it's the first time I saw it. It's one of the actually it was one of the first, I think, at the time. I don't know if it was pre-Ghibli. No.
Which one was it?
Was like, Princess Mononoke.
No, that's Ghibli.
Yeah, it was like one of his first ones. That was like I think I bought it, and my sister and I watched it. I got it for her birthday, and we watched it, and it was like everything I expected it to be. Like I knew what I was getting into, but at the same time, what the story was is what I wasn't expecting so much. But I knew the artwork, the score, just like whatever the story evolves around and its meaning at the end. You know, it just it's kind of weird. It's also a little scary too. It's one of those. It's one of Ghibli's like earlier. You know, I mean, it's bloody, it's graphic. You know, people's fucking limbs are like flying off and shit like that. It's definitely not like what the fuck's like the most rated G Ghibli movie out there. Ponyo or something like that.
Ponyo. I don't. Is that even?
Well, not all of Ghibli's stuff is kid friendly.
Yeah.
So exactly, but I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it a lot. Just again, mostly it's the music and the artwork that does it for me. But so that'd be my number 2. And also it's like it's a cool bonding movie between my sister and I. So like that's another reason why I liked it so much. And number 1 is for me is Avengers: Infinity War. So
Nice.
you know, I know people say they have their issues with it, and that's fine. You know, there's always issues with movies, and everyone's welcome to be their own critic and have their own opinion and stuff like that. But I thought it was an awesome movie for everything that it was leading up to, the 10 years that Marvel has been in power, been at the top, you know, just stumping everyone around them. No one's come close to them in franchise tagging this, like, you know, elephant of a movie industry. So it's it's cool to see everything come together. Excuse me, Jesus, I'm like fucking coughing lung out right now. It's cool to finally see everything come together. Well, technically for the 3rd time, you know, this being the 3rd installment in the Avengers and their main film. Everything come together and see what's finally all the build up for, because we saw Thanos, you know, be teased throughout several movies and stuff like that. We knew he was gonna be the big bad. We knew over the course of time the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones were going to come into play. So seeing it now, like, take its course, it was really cool to see it, kind of watch it and play out as like a heist film, which is what they like kind of called it as. It's like I saw in a way, and then now with like Endgame coming out, which would be this part 2 of Infinity War technically, but also not technically is what they called it. But it's supposed to be part 2, so whatever. But seeing all these characters come onto the big screen, like all these like AAA actors and actresses portraying these like awesome, you know, comic book heroes and villains and stuff like that. It was just so cool to see it all put together. And they've done it before, but to see the big one like come together and like, but you know, crash at the excuse me. I was just about to fucking cough a lung out.
I can't finish a sentence without fucking coughing.
Right. Yeah. Oh my god, it's like Thanos spared half my lung.
That's your 50%, biatch.
Yeah, there it is, right there. So, but like such like a fucking, and obviously like, you know, based off the actual comic book storyline, it's nowhere near as to what it was in the movie. But it was obviously they couldn't do it like that. You can't make a movie like that at all. I can't see that. It would have to be animated, live action. It would be like too much fucking money. It also would take too much fucking time, and also it doesn't even make sense. That's the thing with comic books. It's like it's just a kid's imagination, you know, playing out on a piece of paper. But to see that on like the big screen, they make it come pretty close to how they can, where they can put it and pull it off, and still make, you know, people happy and make a fuck ton of money. Obviously, you know, people have always been upset with Disney, especially as of these recent years, with you know, with Marvel being acquired by them, and also Star Wars, and you know, they're taking over, they're having their own monopoly now. But you know,
I would like to take this opportunity to tell Disney to eat a bag of rotten dicks. Please
exactly.
Continue.
See, Shawn obviously being a victim here. Showing the Mickey Mouse doll, we're touched you, boy. So, but you know, it was also the thing that my friends and I had. I remember back in 2008 when the first Iron Man and the first Incredible Hulk came out, and like those first in credit scenes, and it was just
There's
showing
only been one Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I wasn't stating the 2004 one. I'm saying the 2008 one with what's his face, who ended up not playing him as the Hulk. What was his name? Shoot. Oh my god, he's a great actor,
Mr. Fight Club.
but he's a pain in the ass to work with, is what I hear, which is why they didn't want him.
Yeah.
They got Mark Ruffalo.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah, I can't think of his fucking name right now.
And Norton.
Edward Norton. Yeah, there you go. So, but those end credit scenes, like, you kind of saw it all still together, and then to see where they're at now, it's like they've made this like algorithm of superhero movies that they make now, and it's like they're on a fucking steam train, man. They're just throwing them out there, and they're not terrible. Like, I mean, it's not like the early 2000s superhero movies where they were like really cheesy and a bunch of issues, and obviously I'm not blaming the effects because the effects weren't all that back in the day either, so you can't really put that on that. But as far as they weren't thinking the bigger picture. Now this is disregarding the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, of course. That was its own thing. But like all the other superhero movies for that time, they weren't all the best. Maybe Spider-Man was out there, but besides that, like, you had movies like Fantastic Four, even X-Men wasn't like all that good. But where they're at now, they've come a long way with movies, and Infinity Wars. Obviously, you have this granddaddy godfather of a superhero film that they're going to continue to do. So I'm excited to see what they do for Endgame. They released the trailer, the teaser a couple weeks ago, and it just looks like they're going to continue doing what they're doing. So it's definitely an awesome movie. I remember seeing it in the theaters. I remember sitting with my friends to go see it, and like, just the quiet moments, the exciting moments, the parts that we thought were going to happen, that we didn't think were going to happen. All the little Easter eggs you caught, or the ones you didn't catch the first time around. It was like, it was an experience. So, that's the one thing I can really nerd out to. But yeah, so that'd be my number one.
Okay. Good to hear. Shawn?
All right, well, I've gone through like 850 movies that came out of the 12,218 that were released. And I think I've got a pretty square idea. I did not find it to be a good year for movies. Your biggest movies are almost all comic movies, and as much as I do have some enjoyment with those, I don't particularly lump them in the high caliber movie. They're just fun, but they're very vapid. And so I kind of went direction. I want to give an honorable mention to Animal World, which is a Chinese movie, just because that shit was fucking bananas. And it kind of incorporated some of the best casino movies, casino thrillers, with something that's very difficult to describe. Plus, it's Michael Douglas as a bad guy. So, I also want to give an honorable mention to Mute. It was not a theatrical release, but I thought it was a good cyber. So that leaves me with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Tag, Mandy, and Bad Times at the El Royale. As much as I enjoyed Tag, I think it was a good, like, and I really liked that about the movie. It had a similar.
Shawn, you moved away again.
Oh, God.
Get close to your phone. You
kind of had a similar theme to the night before about a bunch of friends who were considering breaking off a tradition, and they opted not to, and it was very funny. But I'm not going to put Tag in there because I'm going to give that an honorable mention as well. Because outside of that, it was just kind of fun and touching, and it didn't have a lot more substance outside of that. So for my number 3 film, I'm going to say Mandy with Nicolas Cage. That film, not only was it powerful, but it was also very, very trippy. It was very, very mental, very cerebral, like, because you see this guy bouncing back and forth between reality and fiction while he's trying to rescue this girl. And it was a role that works very well for Nicolas Cage's style. And I'm not talking about him being a manic crazy person, but him being able to get into the mind of a character and become that character is something that he oftentimes is very good at. And for as many strikeouts as he has, he's had a lot more quality roles that I think really kind of take over. And I think that Nicolas Cage and Keanu Reeves are two actors that are very underrated. But I think if you haven't seen Mandy and you want to see something that is both powerful and shocking and just an interesting discussion piece, it's a really good movie for that. Then for my number 2 movie, just because it's about time we get a decent Miles Morales, even if the movie has a shitload of problems. I'm just going to say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because I did have some fun with that. And I really haven't enjoyed a lot of theatrical releases this year. And then my number 1 movie is Bad Times at the El Royale because the cast was fucking amazing. Liam Hemsworth was fucking great. That's Thor, right? Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, it's
Liam
Chris
Hemsworth was great.
Williams' younger brother.
Chris Hemsworth. Okay, Chris Hemsworth was
I suck
awesome.
with names. That's the wrong person.
Jeff Bridges was awesome. Like the cast was great. The story was great. It kept you guessing. It was a really fun thriller, and I think that movie is just Oscar bait. Like it was just fucking 100% all around. So my number 1 is The Bad Times at the El Royale. My number 2 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and my number 3 is Mandy.
Nice.
And none of them were like what I would throw into the blockbuster release category besides Spider-Man.
Okay, sounds good. I was gonna do music and TV, and then I was looking through music, and I can't think of this. The only album that I came across that actually came out this year that I genuinely enjoyed was the new Breaking Benjamin album, and besides that, nothing else. So, I guess I don't listen to music as much as I thought.
Yeah,
We could always mention just bands that, like the 3 most influential bands we can think of for us in the last year.
Did you like they have? Well, the thing is, a lot of my music, when I think of it's very like here and there. Like I listen to fucking everything from K-pop to from K-pop to like death metal to fucking everything except country, pretty much actually. And I love it all, electronic music, all this other stuff. And I can't think of like a single group that would define this year for me because it's all over the place as of regards to music. So I think that was actually a bad idea. I don't know. I mean, we could all name when you think back on this year, name one artist that comes to mind, I guess. Right? That work?
gotcha.
All right. Mine will be Veil of Maya.
There's one artist.
You could do more than one, maybe honorable mentions, but I can't think of more than one. I'll do Veil of Maya because that band fucking kicks ass and takes names and does not give a fuck about anything, and they're fucking awesome and phenomenal. And I've been and ever since I found them, which was this year, might have been either this year or late last year. I think it was this year that I found them. I've been listening to their most recent album, To Death. It is fucking phenomenal. I don't know what it's called though. I just know what the picture looks like. Let me find out real quick. The album is False Idol. That album kicks ass, and it's fucking awesome. So that's what I think back on this year. I think of Veil of Maya because I think that's when I found them. So, for you, Tyler, when you think back on this year, what artist comes to mind?
So for me, the big one was, and actually, I didn't think I was going to have one until it just literally popped in my head, and they're brand new. You know, they started like all other bands do. They'll start with like an LP or something, and doing some singles, getting out there, playing little gigs and stuff like that. And they got popular really fast. I think one is because of their look, their style, their age, but the speculation is the fact that they sound so much like another group, and that band being Greta Van Fleet, who sounds like Led Zeppelin. So Greta Van Fleet, I don't know if either of you have heard of them.
Nope.
But they're this up-and-coming young group now that is bringing, and this is the thing that the rock scene has always had. They always say like, oh, there's a rock revival and going on and stuff like that. Rock has always been alive. It never died out. It's gone to the YouTube videos and Instagram and stuff like that. You know, they're now on more of the underground scene than anything. But this reprise this reprise was coming from maybe the mainstream now, because there's not a whole lot of mainstream new bands, rock bands especially too. But these guys are playing not just like modern rock, but they're playing classical rock style, and they're talking about classical themes and stuff like that. And which is why they make such correlation to Led Zeppelin. And there's both the pros and cons, because people are saying, you know, they're copycats and whatnot. If anything, they're anything but copycats. You can see where where they take, excuse me, where you can take like some of their their
My God, you drink some,
yeah, I'm sorry,
drink some water, my man.
I'm trying, yeah, right. just douse me with it. So where they're getting like their taste from, their inspirations and stuff like that, it's far from being copycats. They're making their own music. If anything, Led Zeppelin was the biggest copycat of them all. All they did for most of their music was copy, and you can go into this and look, but they copied other musicians by using you know, this like similar riffs or lyrics and stuff like that, or drum fills. They just made it Zeppelin-esque is all they did. Now obviously I'm not saying that they're necessarily like straight copycats, but that has also been their own speculation. But they definitely made it their own. But you know, that becomes legal issues and blah blah blah. But these guys,
music is derivative.
But these guys, they're like our age, Kyle. They're young. They're really young, and they're playing this style of music, and now they're selling out like arenas and stuff like that. Can you imagine being our age and doing something like that, playing music at that age in that big of a venue? And they're doing like a tour. You know, I don't know if it's a world tour or whatever, but I was actually thinking about going to see them, but they just released the first album. And I haven't listened to all of it, but I've listened to a good amount. I'd say probably like 80% of it. And it sounds like classic rock. It's the riffs, it's the lyrics, it's, you know, the ranges of everything, the solos, like just the style, the sound itself too. It sounds old. Like it sounds like if I put it on like you know, like a vinyl record and played it, and someone would be like, oh yeah, this sounds like, what is this, like the 70s rock, 80s, you know, something like that. And it's like, no, this is modern, this is today. So I'm like, I feel inspired, like hearing that these kids are playing that style of music at this day and age. And again, saying that they're, you know, the rock has never died, but I would say in the mainstream side, it's not what it once was. It's more dusted and not as polished. But these guys, they might be onto something. And what you can hope for that is, you know, other people that are aspiring artists see that, and they, you know, decide to do the same thing. They take their own lead, and next thing you know, the next 10 years, rock might be back like how it was back in, you know, back in like before the turn of the century. So, yeah, that'd be mine. Greta Van Fleet.
Okay, Shawn, do you have one? You probably do.
I can't remember the fucking name. It's one of the biggest J-pop, J-rock bands of all time. It's this girl it's a girl and guy duo, and they've done like tons of like theme songs and movie soundtracks, and I had their name on the tip of my tongue until he started talking about Greta Van Fleet, and then I thought of an opinion on Greta Van Fleet, and then I promptly forgot the fucking name, and I am scrolling through.
Egoist. I'm thinking of some J-pop groups. Or
It's close, but that's not it. It's a duo, a guy and a girl, and there might be a backing band too. I don't remember, but anytime there's pictures, it's usually the two of them, and they did an album with Hiroyuki Sawano.
Ooh.
It's only got like 5 songs on it, but you can tell it's him because he has
you can hear the
yeah, like he basically wrote the music and they played it and did the lyrics and stuff. I don't know how much of it they wrote, but I remember they did an album with him, and I'm scrolling through a list trying to fucking find them, and there's a shitload of J stuff in here along with a bunch of underground. Because despite popular opinion, rock is definitely, I think that radio play rock is dusted, but I think your underground and your independent stuff is very much vivid.
Do as Infinity?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. So, in
Got
the
3
last year,
members.
I've listened 3 members. Okay, I've listened to a lot of music, a lot of stuff that's been in constant rotation. Like Omnimar and Nyx. Those get honorable mentions. Those are both really good. I love the Aesthetic Perfection remix of one of the Nyx songs. And that's NYXX. Omnimar is OMNIMAR. That's a chick. But I think my top 3 of the year would be Do As Infinity, because I've just been done a ton of Do As Infinity this year. Gunship, which if you're having problems choosing a synthwave band to start with, Gunship is amazing. And whereas a lot of the synthwave guys will focus on a genre, like one will do kind of like a pulp cop movie kind of sound, another one will do like horror movie kind of sound. Another one will do like cyberpunk. Gunship kind of jumps around and touches on all of it, but their shit's just really, really good. Like Dark All Night or Technoir was a really great track. And then the other band that I've listened to a shitload of, just because it's kind of like it gives you this positive energy, is Churches. For anyone that's curious, that's Churches spelled with a V instead of a U. So that would be probably my big 3 for this year. Oh yeah, also a special shout out to Ice Nine Kills. But Churches, Gunship, and Do As Infinity. Thank you. You were? Let me guess. You fucking Googled.
I went to
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia for Hiroki Sawano. Went to his recent works. I found him.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a good album, by the way. You should check it out.
I fucking love
Wikipedia. All the answers.
Yeah, dude, pretty much. All right, so fuck TV. We're not sitting and doing that because it's actually really over time here. So we're gonna do one more thing, and we're gonna do. Everyone's gonna pick, if they have one, a moment that when they look back on the year of us doing content creation, one thing that sticks out to them, one moment that they thought was fun, that they'll remember for a while, something along those lines, and then basically what we were doing, giving a little bit of context and why that moment was special to them. Tyler, do you have anything besides doing the podcast with us?
You think content creation?
Well, so something in regards to Thought Patrol as a group, something that stuck out over this year that because we're reflecting on the year as a whole. So I think it'd be cool to add our content creation as a whole to that list.
I don't think I have an answer in terms of it as a whole. When it comes down, I mean, it's kind of going against the question of what we're looking at as a whole. I think my answer would be better on like I enjoy more of the little things, not so much as everything all at once, but just having the freedom to on those Sunday evenings, be like, hey, you guys doing a podcast, and being able to have that time to hop on and talk to you guys. It's just that time to chat, see what's going on, talk about some some shit here and there, and
I love you, Tyler.
It's just little things, man.
I feel so warm and squishy right now. I love you.
Oh yeah, you feel warm.
You're my number one Christmas boutique gift.
But yeah, I'd say just having the opportunity to talk to you guys through this, and
that's perfect. That's good enough for me, fam.
That's it.
Shawn, do you have one?
Yeah, I actually it's kind of like a little bit of a 3-way tie. I would say I had the first thing is early last year was the first time we did the 20 questions, and we did it twice. At one time I think it was just you, Tyler, and myself, and I think that was the second time. And the first time, I believe it was you, myself, Caitlyn,
I know Sam
Antony.
was there. Wasn't Sam there for one of them too?
Oh, then we might have done it 3 times. I don't remember that one.
Because I know we had one episode dedicated to 20 questions, and then we had it as a segment a few times as well. Yeah.
We might have had 5 people. I only remember 4. If we did an entire episode, that would have had to have been the 5 one because that shit takes time. That was like that. Every time we do that, that's one of my favorite things because it's just an opportunity for like our humor to shine, and just like us cutting up and trying to outwit each other, and it's a lot of fun, and the listeners get even more of our interplay, and I kind of like that one.
Okay.
That was a really cool moment. And then a second of my favorite moments, this is in no particular order, was when you and I were doing the Red Strings Club. I had a lot of fun with that. And,
Yeah.
It got pretty neat. And then when Sam was able to pop in and shake shit up, like when he did that one fucking uppity German, like faux German thing was fucking classic. So the whole Red Strings Club experience I just really enjoyed that. Although I know that's 3 or 4 nights and we still haven't finished that. We need to do that. And then as an honorable mention, like Tyler and I dicking around on the camera and fucking with you tonight was pretty special.
As you were talking about this, you guys might have heard me if you were listening. I was laughing. I saw Tyler fucking dying because he had his mic muted and he was like coughing up a fucking storm on his mic because he's got the.
Yeah. I thought I was muted.
No, you were muted. That was fine. It's just like
muted.
I saw you just. I saw you dying on the other side of that. Made me giggle. All right. That's cool.
Tyler's death is humorous.
Yeah. I have a few too. I think my favorite hands down would be the one where we all got together and we had maybe 5 or 6 people and we were all doing voice acting for the Cyberpunk bartender game. And that was already some drinks into and just everyone hanging out and enjoying that game. And that's one of the reasons that game's also pretty special to me is I think that just that camaraderie of us all hanging out together and on top of the game just being good in general. It was awesome. That game was fucking so good and I'm excited for the next part of it when it does come out. And I think the second one also would be the Red Strings Club. I really enjoyed what we did of that playthrough on stream. Super fun fucking game and it's nice to sit down and like do with others and have people voice act and just kind of amplify it that way. I thought it was really cool. And I think third would probably be all of the questions that you guys have sent in throughout this year, from Sam to Marshall to Lark to Carlos, to just everyone to Aaron, Frosty Shake, all the people that have just taken the time to send us questions for us to talk about, answer on the podcast, whether they're being comedic or legitimate inquiries or things like that. We just I love that interaction that provides us on the podcast. It's some of my favorite moments, and my favorite part of the podcast is being able to hear what you guys have to say, talk to you guys kind of directly, and just listening to that. I've also really enjoyed streaming this year as a whole too. Have people come in, hang out, tune in as we all just kind of sit down and chill out for the night. I always loved doing the streaming. Streaming's been a huge part of this year as a whole as well. So super excited to go forward, do more, try and continue to grow this community into something special, even more special than what it is. It's very exciting. I look forward to what's ahead, and I thought this year as a whole was good. I enjoyed this year, and in every aspect for the most part, and I'm excited for 2019. Hope you both are as well.
Here's the next year, boys.
Here's the next year.
Darth Vader has a finger penis.
Hell yeah. Another year of my dog being a rude fuck ass interrupting the podcast. I appreciate it. Right, Bruce? Eating your ass? Cool. Good to hear it. All right. So, I'm glad you could both join me. I think that was pretty cool. It went way over, but hey, what you gonna do? Scooby-Dooby-Doo. We're gonna go ahead and...
Oh, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. We're gonna go ahead and call it there. We're gonna go with some outros, as we always do. Tyler, your sick-ass self. Dog, I swear to fucking God. What you got for the audio?
Roll.
Hey, pizza time. I fucking love that Spider-Man meme. Tobey Maguire. What about you, Shawn?
Hugs and kisses and all your pink parts.
Indeed.
Happy New Year, motherfuckers. I love
Happy
you all.
New Year. I work. Fuck yeah. I have to work on New Year's. So that's going to be fun. All right. But before we go, again, as we sign off on 2018, another year down the drain, we do appreciate you all for tuning in and hanging out with us throughout 2018. And hopefully, we do hope for a good 2019 as well. But this will be the final thought of 2018. Before we go, this one's very important. Giraffes have no vocal cords.